cookie starts to crumble.
Anything else? Oh, there's a list.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The primary election is August 2nd, 2022. Are you voting by mail? Remember to request your ballot by mail no later than July 22nd, or join the active early voting list. Mail your ballot back 7 to 10 days before Election Day, or return your ballot by mail to any secure election drop box or voting location by 7 p.m. on Election Day. Learn more at arizona.vote. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari on creating a well-balanced portfolio.
Are you just chasing this hot stock and that hot stock? Or do you have a plan? Do you have a balanced portfolio where you have a little bit in healthcare, a little bit in technology, a little bit maybe in energy even? How much do you have in the subsectors like communication services and technology? And then you look at all the stocks within those areas and say, okay, this is the one I like and this is the one that I don't like. But you have to have that balance. And then finding the right balance depending on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're looking for income in your portfolio, maybe you want more dividend paying stocks. Or I've got 20 years, I want growth.
If you need help creating a well-balanced portfolio, call pound 250 and say, talk to Mo, or go to compact.com and click on the Get Started button. Again, from your cell phone, call pound 250 and say, talk to Mo, or visit compact.com and click on the Get Started button.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rhodes in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I can only change it on Facebook. I can only change it on. I accidentally put on the Twitter that it was the Thursday edition of the Daily Blender.
Wednesday.
And, yeah, I realized that.
It's Wednesday now. Today.
After I'd already posted them all up there. And so here's what's going to happen. Nothing. I ain't doing nothing. I'm not changing it except for the Facebook. I can go in there and I can change that. But as far as Twitter goes, sorry, it's not Thursday. Clearly it's Wednesday. We wish it was Thursday, which is what would put us closer to what? Friday. So that
Wednesday.
Yeah,
it's a Wednesday edition, Jeffrey.
Wishful thinking, I guess, on my part. So I was able to fix it on the Facebook. Twitter is just going to have to kiss my ass because I know what comes next. Because yesterday we accidentally had Keon's name under my picture on the video, and old Berg there jumped right on it. It just jumped right on there
in seconds.
Yeah, there was no lag between that or anything else. So, I just wanted to make sure everybody knows it actually is Wednesday. Yes, Thunder Snow, it's Whiskey Wednesday. And Randy, could he please have a Jameson? He says.
There he goes.
Why not? First drink of the day goes to you, Thunder Snow. 888-368-1580. So, all right, here's the deal, kids. People say that July is a vast wasteland of not much happening in sports. And people are right. But that doesn't mean it's ever affected this show. I don't know why the people who call themselves real sports talk show hosts always seem to have an issue. Oh my God, it's July. I don't want to do this. I'm going on vacation because it's too hard. There's nothing to talk about. Well, you have a limited imagination, I guess. We never run out of things to talk about here on this show. And the great gods of football have given us a gift. And that gift is that the Browns have agreed to trade Baker Mayfield to the Panthers, one hapless team to another. Baker Mayfield is going to get the strut in there like, that's right. I'm Baker Mayfield. All right. And he's just, going to suck. So, but it's a place where they're used to suckage. So there's no expectations. And here's why there's no expectations. Do you know what the Panthers gave the Browns in exchange for Baker Mayfield?
A conditional 5th round pick.
Yeah.
Not even a guaranteed 5th rounder. It's
not
conditional.
First, second, third, or fourth. 5th.
And they might not keep it.
5th round, you're nearing like with the 300th pick in the draft territory. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just sad.
That's where you can find a really quality backup linebacker.
And before everybody loses their minds, I know it's still under 200. I don't want to get corrected all damn day. You know what I mean? Randy and I are married. We get corrected enough, so I don't need it. But still, yes, they got Baker Mayfield for virtually, you pay him. I don't want to pay him. You pay him. All right, we'll pay him $10 million, but you pay him the rest.
Well, the Browns are actually going to pay more than the Panthers are. The Panthers come out of this smelling like a rose.
They're giving $10 million away, while the Panthers only have to pay him that 8.8. Actually, no, Cleveland's paying 10.5. So whatever the case, the Browns have unloaded Baker Mayfield. They got Deshaun Watson sitting there on layaway. Probably won't get to see him for another year, which means that they're very well in the tanking business this year. I believe it. They're in the tanking business because if you at the end of that year, you have possibly Deshaun Watson if he survives what comes next, or a 1st round draft pick, maybe the 1st pick. So really, the Browns can't win this year, but they can't lose.
True.
They could lose.
I mean, they're going to lose a lot of football games, but that kind of works into the plan, though.
Yeah. A year from now, they win either way. They either have Deshaun Watson or they have the 1st round pick. Both are going to have like a little bit of a curve because Deshaun Watson, not having played at that point football for a couple of years, basically, it's going to take them a little time to get rolling, right? Mm-hmm. Or you got somebody just drafted right out of college. They're going to take a little time to get rolling. But I'm just saying, either way, they'll be no worse off. They have to sacrifice a year. So they've unloaded Baker Mayfield, who clearly was never going to take them to the promised land. He had sort of met his ceiling. And, they're like, all right, let's move on. Let's do Browns things. And let's get more quarterbacks. Let's get 3 more quarterbacks. Let's get 4 more quarterbacks.
I mean, it does sound very Clevelandish, but I think what's more likely going to happen, or not more likely, but the best case scenario for them would be they get to keep Deshaun and they get the 1st round pick. Now you can go get Deshaun a weapon with that 1st rounder. And that's pretty damn nice, too.
And guess what, guys? Baker might get his payback before Deshaun even hits the field because September 11th, the Browns pay a visit to none other than the Carolina Panthers in Carolina.
It's the only team Baker Mayfield can play where he might have a chance at actually winning the game.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
But who's going to be quarterback? Jacoby Brissett.
I'm just saying I don't think that's the only chance that Baker's going to have to win. I think
Who are the Panthers beating?
Who are they beating?
Who are they beating this year?
They're in the NFC South, so at least the Falcons twice. The Falcons might have the worst roster in football.
All right, so they get 2 wins. I don't know that it's a given that they'll beat the Browns, but it's one of the few teams that are basically sort of stripped down that it has to be a team that got stripped. Maybe I don't know if they're Panthers playing the Seahawks. Maybe they beat the Seahawks. Just some team that doesn't have a decent quarterback or a lot of hope is the only thing the Panthers are going to win.
They play the Giants. So
no, they won't win those.
They're not going to beat the New York Giants.
No.
And Daniel Jones.
No.
You think Danny Dimes is going to beat Baker, the touchdown maker?
Nobody's beating anybody. It's just someone's going to outlast somebody in suckiness.
Okay, the Lions are on the schedule. The Seahawks are on the schedule.
So I don't know. Maybe they may have an inflated win total depending on who they play. But The point is, I don't think it's a big deal that the Panthers are going to play the Browns because it's going to be a big old pile of who gives a bleep. Seriously, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
As much fuss and as much hype as we've heard about this, I'm still kind of shaking my head that the Panthers made this move, because when you stack Baker Mayfield up against Sam Darnold, at least stat-wise, it's like a carbon copy. They're the same. I mean, in completion percentage over their career, Mayfield has an edge 61.6% to Sam Darnold's 59.8%. You see what I'm saying?
None of those stats are going to hold up underneath the Panthers talent base. Those stats can hold up and he could be a certain amount of mediocre because there was a lot of talent on these Browns teams the last couple of years, except for him. So now he's going to be over on the Panthers. He doesn't have the talent base there. So his numbers aren't going to exist like that in the coming year.
Well, and that's what I mean. I don't know what all the big hype was. I don't know that Carolina made such a great move either. I mean, if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I'm not looking for Sam Darnold, or I'm not looking for Baker Mayfield, pardon me, Freudian slip, because all you picked up was another Sam Darnold, basically, in essence.
I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. I don't know that Baker's like the promised land guy or anything like that, but he is an upgrade over Darnold. Darnold never has had, if I'm looking at this correctly, Darnold never had a season where he threw for more than 20 touchdowns in a season. It's never happened. Happened for 4 times for Baker.
Yeah, but Jeffrey just said
where the talent base was.
Yeah,
Darnold,
Baker Mayfield had more talent
and
on the team
are you
than
sure?
Sam Darnold has.
I think this Panthers team, when it comes to wide receivers, might be giving Baker more talent. You're talking about
who do they got? Who do they got?
Robbie Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore,
Uh-huh.
and then we're talking about Christian McCaffrey in your backfield.
No, okay, so they got a running game.
and-
That's all they got. Those other guys don't matter.
Well, Robbie Anderson was really good last year.
Well, he
They
won't be
don't
this
even
year.
have a running game because McCaffrey's been injured the last 2 seasons.
If you think that Baker is even slightly better than Darnold, why would
I'd say I'm
Robbie
talking-
Anderson
I'm not talking
get worse? I think he is.
Robbie Anderson's going to be bummed out
Boy,
about the
I
year
don't
he's
know.
about to have.
Well, no, Robbie
Boy.
Anderson, and I think that we were bearing the lead here. Robbie Anderson has had to not apologize, but he's had to walk back comments because when there were rumors maybe 2 months ago
Mhm.
that Baker
Yeah.
would be moving to Carolina,
Said, nope, he's trash.
the exact words in the Instagram post from Robbie Anderson was "No."
Well, that's
So he just
Well,
end with
it's
a
not
lot
just
of
him.
O's. Yeah.
It's not just him. Ben McAdoo, getting ready for the draft, said, I didn't see a lot of pro style football in his college tape. And if you're short, you got to be able to make up for it some way, somehow. And personally, personality doesn't do that. I didn't think he was a great athlete. This guy is kind of like a pocket quarterback that's short with small hands. Well, that's what I worry about. And the next statement, hi, Baker, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome to
So
the team.
Ben McAdoo didn't like Sam Darnold either. So he's coaching both of them. Congratulations, Ben McAdoo. You were in your nightmare situation.
Yeah, you got to
Guys,
shake it off because it's Ben McAdoo. Who gives a crap what he thinks?
Guys, if you look at this, if you look at it side by side, okay, now keep in mind, Sam Darnold has been on the Jets.
You can't
and then
side by side.
why not? Why not?
Because you're coming from different places, like you just said.
But
Sam
I'm just-
Darnold
I'm-
on the Jets, well, he could have done better with a better team. Baker Mayfield with a good team got mediocre. So I don't know. You may not win the Sam Darnold was worse than Baker Mayfield argument.
All I know
I
is
don't know. I don't know.
Sam Darnold had Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore a year ago, and he looked good for 2 games, 3 games.
I think you're overestimating how good those guys are, to be honest.
I don't think I'm overestimating Robbie Anderson. That dude's awesome.
Yeah, well, just marry him then. It's been a long day. I'm going to revert back to third grade tactics here and there. Just be ready for it.
All right.
Bala51 says, my sources that are close to people who know things are telling me that Deshaun Watson is not going to be suspended for not even a single game. All cases will be settled before the start of training camp. I think that needs to be irrelevant, though.
Yeah, please.
Because, again, him settling, well, that also indicates, well, then what the hell's going on there? So there's something going on there. And if the NFL lets him off the hook with nothing, they can't get away with it. They can't get away with it.
And the NFL is A, acutely aware of the optics, and they're afraid of how bad that would look. And B, they've punished guys who have settled before. That's never stopped them. So
Right.
the league
Ray
can still make a
Rice's
punishment.
woman says, I can't remember, his wife or girlfriend said,
Girlfriend at the time, now wife.
I'm going back to him. I've forgiven him. I don't know why, but she did, and they still gacked him pretty good. Fed fan says, "Hi guys, question for you." So I think this is trivia, guys.
Okay.
What did Jay Crowder, Sylvester Stallone, Kevin Hart, former President George W. Bush, and the Dalai Lama and me have in common? I know the answer.
Birthday on the same day?
You are correct, sir. Yes, well done.
I win.
Happy birthday.
That's
right. She shares her birthday with a lunk-headed dumbass and Sylvester Stallone. So there you go. That's
You shouldn't be so mean to the Dalai Lama.
I know.
Oh no.
Well, if he's not gonna tip, if he's not gonna tip when he's golfing, that's what I'm just saying. So yes, Fed fan, let's celebrate a soda for Fed fan Randy and give one to Charlie Boy. And she says White Claws for everyone else. No, we're not pouring White Claws.
No.
That ain't happening.
No.
That's where we draw that line.
Mhm.
Happy birthday, Fed fan. Let's see. Silver Pops says, Silver Pops says, I believe the Panthers play the Cardinals. They always beat the Cardinals. No, they don't, do they? Is that one of your teams?
They do have quite an edge over the Cardinals for some damn reason. And I can't figure out what it is. Remember last year, the damn Carolina Panthers came in here and beat us.
With
That's
Cam
embarrassing.
Newton's corpse at quarterback.
Yeah.
Mind you.
Yeah,
Corpse
with
of Cam Newton.
Yeah. That was a game. I'm back.
Oh God, that hurt.
Remember that?
That
Yeah.
was, and I'm not even a Cardinals fan, and that hurt my feelings.
Oh yeah.
Last Optimist says rooting for the Panthers week 1 over the Browns. Why? Are you a Panthers fan, or you just hate the Browns? I mean, who's rooting for either team, really?
Like, unless you're from there, I can't think of
Well,
any good reason.
I have some connections back there. I'll probably be, on that day, probably a Panthers fan. Yeah.
I will never be a Panthers fan. My older sister lives in North Carolina, is a
Oh, no kidding.
Panthers fan. And I had to pay off a bet when the stupid Cardinals lost to them. I had to send some Panthers T-shirts and gear and a big bag of pistachios.
Huh?
Yeah, that hurt. I mean, I did when I bought hers. I got myself another big bag of pistachios, but still, I don't like losing bets to the Panthers.
Since it was your sister, did you open the bag of pistachios just to put a doubt in her mind? Yeah.
Lick a few of them or just threaten that I did?
Yeah, just put a doubt in her mind.
Nah, my wife doesn't let me get away with stuff like that. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy hump day. So how about them Diamondbacks? 2-game winning streak, huh? Do I smell playoffs? No, you smell your upper lip, George. There's no playoffs coming anytime soon.
What
for
you smell
the
is a 2-game winning streak.
Yeah,
That's all that's
actually, what you're smelling, Big George, is San Francisco is on I think a 9-game losing streak now. So
it's not so much about
not a
us
winning
as
streak.
it is them.
Yeah.
So, and now you got after they play them again tonight, you got like another stand with the Colorado Rockies whooping your ass every game. So.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news: the Suns have breaking news.
This is breaking news.
That's right. You wanted to see a center get signed to a supermax contract. Well, you didn't get to see that today. Bismack Biyombo got re-signed. Details of that contract are withheld.
Well, that's fun because I know you like to say Bismack Biyombo.
Bismack Biyombo. Love that name. Love the name. And he did all right. He'd come off the bench, give him a little spark here and there. And there was a time he came off the bench, give him nothing. But, in general, good bench players, a good person to throw out there so somebody can get some rest. I don't think he's a replacement for DeAndre Ayton by any means. But,
no.
Everybody likes him. I mean, I don't know. Got a problem with the Bismack? You got a problem with Bismack?
I have no problem with Bismack Biyombo. No problems whatsoever.
I'll step up for him. You know what I'm saying? So you got a problem with him, you got a problem with me.
You kind of have to step up for him because he's way taller than you.
The dude was a third-string center averaging 6 points a game. That's pretty solid.
59% shooting and almost 5 rebounds. And then that's all out of 36 different games that you got to play in. So I don't know. Bismack Biyombo's my man. So shut it.
You're not going to hear
somebody say
something.
Us. Yeah, did somebody say something adverse about him?
No, I just imagined somebody in their car might have. So that was really more for them than it was for you. I just wanted to just make sure it was said.
Okay.
Boogie says, you know who else has an edge over the Arizona Cardinals? The Detroit Lions. The Lions are going to the playoffs.
Boogie, please don't do this.
Sorry.
Don't do this, Boogie.
It's just really embarrassing.
Look, as a fellow bad team fan, it's just okay to admit that you're not going to the playoffs.
Yeah, you're not going to the playoffs.
It's all right. Neither of us are going. It's just not happening.
Yeah. The Washington Commandos are not going. Lions aren't going. Panthers aren't going. Sorry. Somebody had to tell you that. It's reality check time. Last Optimist says, hate the Browns for making a mockery of any punishment the NFL hands down by the way they structured Deshaun Watson's contract. Yeah, that's just, it's not a good look. It's an ugly, not good look. And part of you is like, well, you can understand this hapless team who's just been struggling to do this. They didn't need to do that. Thunder Snow says, Jeffrey, you may have lost that bet to your sister, but you did pay it off. You know why? Because Jeffrey O'Brien is not a welcher. No, I am not. I've paid back or paid up on every bet I have ever made. And if I haven't yet, that's because I haven't seen the person to do it. That's all. That's all. 888-368-1580. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we got many sports things to talk about on a Wednesday. It's not Thursday. It's Wednesday. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The Diamondbacks open up a series in Colorado against the Rockies tonight. Merrill Kelly against Antonio Cincitella, the pitching matchup. The Rockies are a slight favorite, paying out at -120 on the money line, while the Diamondbacks pay out at +102. The over-under for tonight's game has been set at 12 runs. Elsewhere around the National League West, Padres and Dodgers continue their series tonight. Blake Snell against Tony Gonsolin. The Dodgers paying out at -174 on the money line, while the Padres pay out at +146, and the Giants are -154 favorites against the White Sox. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
Blue Star medicated ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff. Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast or your money back.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Now, you know, when it came to my KFC meal, I had to put some thought into it.
KFC, may I take your order?
So I started off with a warm and toasted brioche bun. Word of advice, do not sleep on brioche buns. They're French and they're fire. Come on. Now, for the star of the show, have you ever seen such a beautiful chicken sandwich? You gotta make mine spicy. Add a side of mac and cheese, secret recipe fries, ranch, and an ice-cold lemonade. And there you have it. Check out the new Jack Harlow meal at KFC.
Order ahead or on the KFC app today. Prices and participation may vary.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season,
you'd better think again.
The NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more.
Football is always in season here.
We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Your home for football.
the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and Twidiot is on the text line. Says, the reason the other sports talk radio shows hate the lull in July because they don't have a fourth dimension. You're damn right. You're damn right. That's a good point right there, Twidiot. That nicely said. Hey, by the way, today, as well as it being Wednesday and not Thursday, it's also International Kissing Day. I'm not kissing any of you. No, there's no need for that. We're not going to talk about it because I first saw that. I thought
you didn't want to talk about it. Why did you bring it up, Jessica?
Well, because there's a better day, and actually, it's National Fried Chicken
Day.
Day.
You brought up the Kissing Day.
I'm a sexy beast.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know that it was National Kissing Day.
There's a reason why, Jeffrey, brought up.
I don't want to kiss you, Randy.
International Kissing Day, and I want to know what it is.
Never wanted to kiss
what's
you.
behind.
I feel like it would be a bad kiss.
Well, then why? Listen, I'm a world-class kisser. You don't know.
No, I don't need to know. I'm
You
fine.
don't know.
All good here. By the way, your first kiss, when you had your first kiss, was it a good kiss or a bad kiss?
Damn good one.
Yeah. How about you, Keon? Your first kiss
was a good kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember mine being pretty good. I just okay. It's just like two kids, just like you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you're just
See, subliminally, what's going on in your mind is you want to talk about kissing.
No, I'm fine. I want to talk about fried chicken. It's National Fried Chicken Day.
You didn't bring that up first. You brought up the Kissing Day first.
Well, I'm bringing
You
up
did
the
not
Kissing
bring up-
Day
yeah,
to say, but don't worry. There's better. I don't want to talk about tonguing and teething and stuff like that.
Listen,
You ever
here's
accidentally clunk teeth
nothing-
when you're kissing? Oh, I hate
Nothing
that.
better that I like to do than kiss Miss Kim.
Yeah, that's good. You can go do that now if you like.
Nothing
you don't
I
need the
like to
music.
do better. And I just want to know why you brought up the Kissing Day.
Because it happened to be National Kissing Day and National Fried Chicken Day the same day. And my point was going to be, if you'd let me,
Yeah.
we're not going to observe Kissing Day. We're observing National Fried Chicken Day.
And yet, you talked about the Kissing Day.
Listen, I like to kiss my wife, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's National Fried Chicken Day, man.
Well, I mean, that's okay, but you didn't say that first. You said kissing. Clearly, kissing is number one. Your kiss is on your list.
Well, of what we're not going to observe, because we're going to observe National Fried Chicken Day, and the earliest known recipe for American style fried chicken was actually in a British cookbook, The Art of Cookery, made plain and easy by Hannah Glass in 1747.
I guarantee you, if it's in a British cookbook, it was very plain and very simple. No seasonings, no nothing, just plain and terrible.
Now,
Have you
my
ever been to
wife is-
London, Jeffrey?
Yeah, my wife's mad at me now.
Why?
I just got a message. Where's my kiss? Wait, fried chicken versus a kiss? Wow. Well, okay, you can go kiss a chicken now if you want.
See, I told you. Secretly,
I never even mentioned it.
in the back of your mind, you're always thinking
Should never
kissing.
mention this. Well, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking fried chicken. And wife, if you get some fried chicken, I'll kiss you. You know what I'm saying? I'll kiss you a lot.
Miss Kim
'cause I
doesn't
love
have
the
to
fried
get
chicken.
anything for me to give her a kiss.
Oh, don't do that.
Wow.
She doesn't have to get anything. I just kiss her because.
There's no quid pro quo here. I just kiss her because I'm just saying
Why
I'll
does
kiss her extra.
why
for
does
some
your
chicken.
wife have to get something to receive a kiss from you, Jeffco? That's what I want to know.
She gets extra for the chicken. I'm not
Oh, is
saying
that what it is?
yeah, she gets more kisses for the chicken.
Good goaltending, Jeffco.
Yeah, I ain't holding back, but I'll tell you what, I'm putting out if there's some chicken involved. That's what I'm going to do right there. So anyway, so they did some polling on this, on the chicken, and said 16% of Americans would marry fried chicken.
What?
Yeah, how much they love chicken. Like, I love chicken. I like chicken.
Have you ever been to
marry fried chicken?
Have you ever been to the Great Britain?
No, but
Have you-
I've been to
have
the
you-
South, and those people marry a lot of things.
Now, Keon, have you been? Have you been to the? Have you been to the? They don't marry the livestock there. No. Have you been
They're
to
committed.
the Great Britain? Have you?
I have
Keon?
not. No.
Have
No.
you? Oh, you guys, I've been there. Don't go eat over in the Great Britain.
No boy.
No, everything's soggy.
Well, it's
No, it's not even. It's just so bland.
every now and then just a British dish will just appear on Twitter, and then of course we all stand there and laugh at it because it's ridiculous what they're eating.
No, there's no flavor. There's no taste. There's no consistency. There's no. It's just it's
That's
soggy,
my point.
tasteless food.
Aren't you glad?
They boil toast.
Aren't you glad that these United States got a hold of that fried chicken, and we took it from those filthy Brits, and we made it the institution it is today?
It went from the filthy Brits to the filthy rednecks of the South, and they got their hands on that, and they put some flavor to it. And then of course the Colonel came along back in 1952, and he did some stuff to it. And then now, I don't know when Kroger / Fry's food stores got their hands on it, but they have perfected it. And still, I stand by this: Fry's Food and Drug, or whatever you call them now, best fried chicken on the planet.
I think I just figured out what I'm doing for dinner.
Yeah,
you're going to the Kroger's.
Yeah,
and getting some fried chicken. Are you?
Yep.
He knows I'm right. He knows I'm right. And
it took me forever to try it, but I did. And
that's it. He's just,
maybe
he's hit
next
a nerve.
time you won't wait so long to take my advice, because I was right. So how often do you eat the fried chicken? Here's the stats on that. 18% say rarely, every couple of months. 12% say once a month. 22% say every couple of weeks. 21% say once a week, which it would be me if I was allowed to. You know what I mean? There's even some people, we call them future cadavers, eat it 4 times a week.
Oh my God.
4 to 5 times a week, and every day, 15, 7, and 6%. So there's some people who are living on this stuff.
You speak the truth when you say future cadavers. The great Barry White had an affinity for the fried chicken. And he would eat it all the time. And that's ultimately, I think, what cost him his life.
What was he, 33?
It wasn't. He may have been a little older than that, but yeah.
So there you go. Observe what you want. I'm choosing to observe the National Fried Chicken Day, because I don't need a damn day to kiss my wife. I'll kiss her no matter what day. Every day is International Kissing Day.
You led with the kissing. I want to know why that happened.
Because I guess I didn't realize I wasn't completely sick to death of this damn music. Part of me must not have realized that. Let's see. Fed Fan says Fry's teriyaki chicken wings. They're quite yummy too. Never had those. I
haven't tried those either.
Kyle G says, me and a buddy one night oven baked a seasoned chicken, then we shredded it, then we deep fried it, and then we put the fried shredded chicken over mashed potatoes and poured gravy over it. Delicious.
See, that sounds like something that would come out of Louisiana, and therefore it is delicious.
And it's a lot of work though, so someone else would have to do that for me. You know what I mean? I ain't doing all that. Once I got some good chicken, I'm just eating it.
Have you ever had the beer can chicken? I think we've had this.
Not yet.
Oh, we got to do.
Not that I recall. Fifth letter says, I'm kissing my lady all the way to Popeyes tonight. Oh, so you want a stomach ache? Big George says, I like to kiss my fried chicken before eating it. So 2 days go in one. That works. Yeah. He says on International Kissing Day, I'm wondering, Jeffrey, if you kissed your wood when you were at the Home Depot. Stop it, George. Stop it. The answer is I could, but I didn't. 888-368-1580. Horn Ninja says, afternoon, gentlemen. Happy belated 4th of July. Fry's fried chicken is top notch, but have you tried Gus's world famous fried chicken on Main Street in Mesa? Oh, you'll want to kiss the cook. Yeah, but I got to go to Mesa to get it.
That's not that far from me, so I'm
talking about distance.
It's on Main Street in Mesa. It's Gus's fried chicken.
All right, well, on Main Street in Mesa, that's fine, right?
Keon, you go hit that. You let me know if it's worth being in Mesa for.
What's wrong with Mesa?
Well, no, go ahead. Take a drive. Take a drive and find out.
Go ahead.
Enjoy. I think I've really pissed off the wife now. She's
as
like,
the texts come rolling.
Yeah. She's like, I like how you're kissing up now. I'm not doing anything, honey. I'm just saying it's Randy's fault. Blame Randy.
It's not my fault.
It's
she
totally
knows
your
it's
fault.
not my fault. You lad, it's your fault. You led with the kissing.
The whole
What
point
the hell
was-
did I have to do with anything?
I was moving past that, but you wouldn't let me. I just was
You
really
should
saying,
have just
even
led with
though-
the. How many times have I told you in your journey through radio, you don't lead with the secondary story, you lead
How
with
many
the
times
primary
I told
story.
you I do what the hell I want?
And it got you in trouble again, didn't it?
No, it didn't. You just couldn't help yourself. I was just gonna say it's International Kissing Day, but more importantly, it's National Fried Chicken Day. And now you've just opened up this giant can of worms.
You made fun of the Dalai Lama, calling him a lunkhead, and now you're in trouble with the wife. It's not my fault.
I don't think she cares about the Dalai Lama. I don't think that's even the thing.
Maybe FedFan does.
No, I don't think she cares either. So anyways, that's what's happening. Have yourself some fried chicken or a kiss. I just don't care anymore. I don't care. Do we care? We already determined that we don't care about what's going on with the Diamondbacks. They won 2 games. Big hairy deal,
Big
right?
whoop. Well,
Big
it was pretty fun. I don't know. I watched the game. It was pretty fun. The comeback in the 8th inning. That's usually not how those games go when the Diamondbacks are down by a single run. Usually they just stay down, and it was cool to see that. That's it.
Yeah. Varsho, a 3-run home run there at the end. Bam, sealed the deal. And there was some nice, I guess you call a bunt offense. I guess as long as it works, right? 2-strike bunt single right there in that inning. So that was, it was a good way to get a win over the hapless Giants. Not something to feel that great about.
And that's the thing. A lot of people are talking about the long ball. Whatever happened to the bunting game? What happened to the short game? What happened to the bunt and run? Whatever happened to bunt the guy over? You don't see that anymore. You rarely see sacrifice bunts anymore. Everybody goes out there and swings out of their cleats trying to hit one 490 yards, or 490 feet. I mean, nobody can lay down a great bunt anymore.
Well, guess who can? Rojas. He can. And he thought about it too. He was thinking about it, okay, hitting into the shift, figuring out, okay, well, that's where I'll put this damn thing. And it worked. And it was some advice, I guess, he got from his dad was in play on that too. So, right there, it wasn't just an afterthought. It was like, what do we got to do to win? And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
If
more
I
people
was
should do that sort of thing.
If I was the father of a big leaguer, they call me up. You know what I'm going to say? Hey, hit and run. Don't hit into the shift. Hit to the opposite field. I'll teach my kids. I taught my kids how to hit all over the place, not just to one place in the field.
It's just weird that it's disappeared that way, because if you ask anybody who played baseball in previous generations, they all played that way, and now it's gone. And I was listening to a radio interview one time with Pete Rose, and he was just confused because he was just like, where did it go?
Right.
Just make contact with the ball. That has incredible value, and nobody's doing it. Everyone's trying to hit homers, which if you've got the power for it, more power to you. But like everybody else, that's not all of you.
Well, but the mindset behind it, guys, is the statistics behind it is if you hit a home run, you score more runs than laying down a bunt, and you're just killing the game. You're just killing the damn game.
I'm out there to win the game, not to pad my stats. I mean, I know it was just a softball league, but that year I did legitimately bat 1,000. Not because I was a great hitter, but because I could outrun most throws to first because I was very, very speedy. And I also could place the ball where they weren't. And if I did get it too close to the shortstop, I was already on first before he blinked. But, I didn't care about a home run. There were some times I tried to hit home runs and I would just come just short of the damn fence. And I was just like, all right, if I can't get it over, I'm just going to get on base. Because once I'm on base, likely I've already made that a double. Somebody else can help get me in, or by just getting on base, I'm moving people forward and getting somebody else in. I'm trying to win a game. I wasn't trying to pad my damn stats. I also wasn't playing for money, so I guess that's different. But I think I was just being a dumb softball player. I wasn't even playing real baseball. So if I had that figured out, I don't know why they don't have it figured out these days. Was it a statistical thing where somebody said, don't even bother with that. Go for this. This is the higher metrics of this. And we'll just do that.
That's exactly right.
Dumb. Yes. Which is weird because the early statistical analytic thing, and I read the Moneyball book, was on base percentage was king. You can get on base. We don't even care about the rest of the stuff. And somehow it evolved away from even that to we're just going to worry about launch angle and, exit velocity and all of this home run centered stats. And it doesn't help the game. And I don't understand why we can't come back from that, because look, simple. We're not all Aaron Judge. Everybody can't hit homers.
I'll tell you what, I never paid for a beer that season. Every time I was at bat, I got a hit, and every time I got on base, I never got out at first. Never happened. So I never had to pay for beer. And then when we won the championship, I didn't have to pay for food or beer, and much was consumed that night. And it just, I don't understand how people don't get it. The value is obvious to the team, but I guess not to the player, Randy.
Yeah, and it used to be you'd fill your lineup out. You get a guy that would get on base and be, at least in baseball, you get a guy that would dink or get a walk or just infield hits like you were talking about. Get on base.
Somebody
Next
has to
guy
get
up-
there for a home run to matter.
Right. Next guy would get on, and he would be a guy that he would say he has gap power. He's a guy that would hit the ball in either of the power alleys, or sometimes he'd even go deep. But this is a pretty good hitter. Then your 3-4 batters were guys that could pound the ball out of the park. And then you would just recycle that rotation again. Your number 6 batter would be another leadoff type hitter, the guy that would get on base and cause havoc you get another guy that could drive the ball in the ballpark. It wasn't about how far you did. It was about moving the guy over. It's a simple game. You get them on base, you get them over, and you get them in. That's the basics of baseball right there.
And I always loved, because I was that guy who could put it a chest level line drive wherever I felt like. And I always loved it when I looked behind me in the batting order and saw a fat guy. I was like, I'm getting across home plate because the fat guy's going to hit a home run, or he's going to hit something so hard I'll have time.
A lot of guys made a living on just getting base hits. Look at Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn had a hell of a career, Hall of Fame career, just getting the ball, power ball in the gaps, hitting it in the gaps, hitting for average.
That's the kind of stuff that I'm saying. Like, I know that a lot of guys are doing this contractually, and look, the home runs are sexy. They get you paid. But if you don't have home run power, you mean to tell me that some team's not going to pay you if your on-base percentage is good, or your batting average is good, or you hit a bunch of RBI every year? Like, some team's not going to look at that and go, yeah, we need that guy on our team. It's not all homers. Like, you can get paid off of these other stats too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a guy who's doing something kind of special that has nothing to do with home runs, and we'll tell you about that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Now, when it came to my KFC meal, I had to put some thought into it.
KFC, might take your order?
So I started off with a warm and toasted brioche bun. Word of advice, do not sleep on brioche buns. They're French and they're fire. Now, for the star of the show, have you ever seen such a beautiful chicken sandwich? You gotta make mine spicy. Add a side of mac and cheese, secret recipe fries, ranch, and an ice cold lemonade. You have it. Check out the new Jack Harlow meal at KFC.
Order ahead or on the KFC app today. Prices and participation may vary.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
heart disease, asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
Living with chronic pain isn't really living at all. So why don't you do something about it?
I just learned to deal with the pain. I mean, I don't want to go through a long, agonizing surgery.
Or some doctor will just put me on meds for eternity. I don't like taking medication. Avoid both of those with regeneration injection therapy. It's non-invasive and, in most cases, with only a single injection, you're on your way to pain-free life.
Regeneration injection therapy is just one of many effective alternative therapies at the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale. Our naturopathic medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We often help people who have not found relief with other treatments. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Today, the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Fifth letter says, sounds like no kisses or fried chicken at all for Jeffrey tonight. No, I sent her a little special message. I think we're going to be fine. Big George says, Jeffrey, didn't you grow up in Mesa and go to high school there? How dare you insult that city, sir? My city, he says. You know, Mesa's kind of turned into an armpit. What are you talking about? I mean, I lived right there on the border of Gilbert and Mesa, and then I moved up deeper into Mesa. Yeah, it's just, just downtown. Yeah, so it's talking about downtown, really. Just a lot of, it's kind of, yeah. Boogie says, oh, dude, Monroe's Hot Chicken is the best fried chicken in Arizona. They got a location in Tempe and downtown Phoenix. Never had Monroe's. Have you had Monroe's? You're in Tempe, Keon.
I haven't had Monroe's. This is actually the first I'm hearing about it, but
you might want to jot these things down. And it looks like you got some really good, tasty homework ahead of you.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, at Baker's cockiest hen, I wonder how he'll perform with a lower tier offensive line. Too indecisive, not elusive enough, couldn't stay healthy behind a top 5 O-line, arguably number 1 in the league. Oh, he's talking about Baker Mayfield. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to perform badly. I'm predicting the Panthers are going to have a bad time.
I don't know how many wins he results in because just looking at that schedule is pretty tough outside of the games that we think that the Panthers are capable of winning. But I don't know if he's going to perform badly. I do think that he's got wide receivers that
he'll miss a lot.
I mean, he's going to miss his share, but I mean, he's he's not a guy that's passing in like the 50%. When he's healthy, the dude throws 20 touchdowns a season. That's got to mean something.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Donnie says all this fried chicken talk has killed me since I'm on the keto. How do you say it?
Keto diet.
Keto.
Yeah.
What the hell's keto? By the way? Everybody, I hear people say it now and then. What's a keto diet?
Well, it's you watch your carbs, watch your grease intake, things like that. You have to eat very clean, lots of vegetables, raw vegetables. Lots of fish.
So you can have chicken in the keto diet, but like the breading from the chicken and the frying you can't have
it. Yeah.
Once you get past the breading, it's just chicken. It's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So what's wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's deep fried. You're supposed to have it.
The grease penetrate the actual meat?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You need to have
it tastes so good.
Grilled or baked chicken. And it's got to be boneless, skinless, that sort of thing. Got to watch your salt intake, things like that.
All right. I will never be on the keto diet.
It's not fun, but you will lose weight.
I refuse.
It does work.
I'm just not going to do it. You can't make me. Forget that. Sorry you're on a horrible diet, and I'm sorry you have horrible teams in Minnesota, Donnie. 888-368-1580. Kyle G says, I wish they would bring Zaxby's chicken to Arizona. Keon should know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is Zaxby's better than Fry's?
We talked about it earlier. Well, I don't know if it's better than Fry's, but it's a chicken sandwich place, and the damn kickin' chicken sandwich meal is one of my favorite chicken sandwiches I've ever had.
So I don't care about chicken sandwiches. I'm just talking about straight up chicken. Straight up chicken is what matters.
I mean, they have that too. But I usually when you go to Zaxby's, you get the kickin' chicken sandwich meal. They put the Zaxby's sauce in the sandwich. It's so good.
Yeah, sauce is what you need when something's not good enough. When I get the Chick-fil-A and the nuggets, I don't put sauce on any of it. Everybody's like, "Are you crazy? The sauce is that's amazing." I'm like, "Here, have it. I don't care. I was gonna eat the chicken nuggets."
Same thing with Chick-fil-A. I think the sauce it's good without the sauce, but the sauce is just so good as itself that bring it in there, incorporate it.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, seems Jeffrey doesn't realize his issue is the shift. Teams now put guys in the spots where they hit it. The natural evolution was hit it over all of them. No, it's not. It's the hit it where they're not. So if if you only can hit it in one place, you're doomed. But if you can pull the ball, you can pull and adjust your swing and put the ball where you want it, then none of that matters. So the natural evolution is not hit over all of them. The natural evolution is, like Randy says, hit it where they ain't.
Like if they shade very far to the right,
guess where I'm going.
Yeah, you go. They've looked at the data. They've watched the tape. They know you hit to the right and it goes to the right. So they shade that way. If you're capable of pulling it to the left, you're a huge asset.
Be the kind of hitter who can put it wherever you want. And that's the guy who you want to pay. And that's the guy you want on a team that wins. I mean, I understand the shift, Baker Cocky Hens. What Randy and I are saying, well, they've stopped teaching them to work against that. Over it is not a guarantee. Over it, seriously, you got to think is a lower percentile thing. If more guys just got on base, if more guys are able to, okay, they're over there. Okay, ball's going that way now. If more guys are able to do that, and I think, Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, that's not incredibly hard to teach. If you can, if you can make contact with the ball, you should also be able to adjust where the core of your body to put the ball where you want it.
Yeah, I mean it's the way you position your hands through the hitting zone. On any basic pitch, if it's over the center of the plate, or if it's even away from your body, it's easier to hit to the opposite field. And look, if you're going to put, if I'm up to the plate, okay, and you're going to put the first baseman up near second base, and you're going to put the shift on me, everybody's on the left side of the infield. Guess what? I'm going to hit the ball down the right field line. I'm going to get a double and triple every damn time you put the shift on me, and eventually you'll have to play me straight away. Yep. That's what Rod Carew used to do. That's what Tony Gwynn. You could not put a shift on Tony Gwynn. The guy could place the ball anywhere in the ballpark. Wade Boggs, all these great hitters throughout the years, you couldn't put the shift on because they could hit what they call from foul line to foul line. Either any place you want to go, these guys could put the ball.
Then giggle as you started to go in a certain direction going, oh, really? Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Let's
Watch
see.
this. Bling. Yeah. There were guys that they made a living off of putting the ball in the corner of the outfield that you were playing. You were pulled towards the center field.
Right.
They made a living on hooking the ball in that corner of the outfield you were not playing it.
Yeah, dead zone. Kyle G says, I always just hit the ball at the pitcher. 9 out of 10 times gets me on base. Like I said earlier, I can do a chest level line drive about any place I want on the field. And, when I played on that team, highly effective and scared the bleep out of some people sometimes too. And then there was one time I was playing and I took out a poor lady's nose.
Oh boy.
I forgot that it was just a church game and I shouldn't have done that. I just, your mindset is, okay, where's this going? She can't handle this ball. I didn't realize she was going to try to stop it with her face. I didn't, I felt bad.
Yeah.
And it was a couple of years before she could even talk to me.
The mental calculation was, here's a weak spot.
Yeah. And I didn't realize it'd be cartilage. I just thought maybe she'd go, most girls go, ah! And then duck out of the way. You've seen how when Charlie Brown is pitching and then the ball goes and it throws him up in the air and his ball and his shoes and socks and everything comes. That's what happened to her.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That was I was like, okay, I'm not going to play like that with church people anymore. That just, maybe I did probably aim at the pitcher a couple of times. That was the pastor who was cheating on his wife with the church secretary.
Oh boy.
Anyway, moving on. True story. Not making stuff up.
Breaking news.
Yeah, baseball justice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to hurt a girl, but that was not intentional. Baker's Cocky Hen says, when they shade right, they pitch it so you can't pull it. I would assume the numbers people have found this works best. It's hard to pull a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner of a plate.
Yeah, but what you're talking about is throwing the ball away from the batter if it's on the quote unquote outside part of the plate. So it'd be very easy to hit opposite field that way. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but it's actually not as hard as you would think. These guys are professional hitters. They have a way of striking the baseball, whether it's hooking the end of the bat so they could pull it down the left field line, or to get their hands through the hitting zone early. So the head of the bat is coming through the hitting zone a little late, so you can hit it down the right side. I mean, there's any number of ways to put a ball where you want it to be, whether it's 95 or 65, or even if it's 5 miles an hour in a slow pitch softball league. It's very easy to make the ball go where you want it to be. Now, hand-eye coordination obviously is a big factor here. You've got to be a hitter, but it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward how to drive a ball different parts of the ballpark.
Fed Fan says, I had fun hitting the ball so it would drop in front of the left fielder. I get a single out of it.
Oh, yeah. A lot of top spin on the ball.
If you can make it drop where you want, that's awesome. That is awesome. But just you think you're going to drop it, and that person all of a sudden has some speed. You're out. That's you better know who you're hitting on. Pro Dog says Lou Piniella, after seeing Ichiro hit to the opposite field 30 times in a row during spring training, he then asked him to pull it, and he did that 50 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ichiro was quite a master with the bat. That was a professional hitter. Absolutely.
I want to have a conversation. I feel like it should be pronounced Ichiro.
Well, I mean, you could talk to him, but I mean, it's his name.
I know. I just feel like Ichiro is probably got a better Ichiro. Baker's Cocky Hen says, well, then why don't they do it then?
Well, a lot of times it's ego, it's statistics. You get these stats guys in there that's saying, hit it over the shift or hit it through the shift. Sometimes they'll say that you're big enough and strong enough to hit a missile somewhere where these guys can't get it. And these guys get paid a lot of money to go up there and hit the ball, and hitting it to where they're not. Yeah, that doesn't really excite anybody, according to what most people are saying. Most of these jarheads that are playing in baseball now.
And
Boomers, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know this necessarily from the baseball side of things because I didn't grow up playing baseball, but I know this in basketball, and I'm certain a lot of people realize this in football too. There are just certain things that when kids are coming up through athletics, they're not taught the way that they were taught previously. So they just don't have the skill to do it. They just,
sure. So it's across sports. It's okay. Now everybody's doing threes, or everybody's doing a one-handed catch, or everybody's doing this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whatever the famous guy is doing, everybody else wants to do.
And you want to keep young, talented athletes happy, so you teach them that instead of a base of skills that will be useful all the time.
Right. That pisses me off. I mean, you got to teach kids catch the ball with two hands before you're doing it with one.
Yeah, I mean, that's basic baseball. That's basic ball skills. Say whether you're playing softball or you're playing baseball. I remember in Little League, I mean, the coach would line us up at third base or at shortstop and just hit ground balls to us. Ground balls, learning how to catch a ground ball, how to surround a ground ball. These are basic principles of baseball that I just don't think they teach anymore, man. I just think they get out there and suit up in those cool uniforms and they go at it.
Boomer Sooner says, Randy, you're exactly right. I grew up going to Anaheim Stadium watching Rod Carew hit. They would do all kinds of stuff, and he would just hit it by him, through them, over them, wherever it took, whatever it took to get on base. And he says, Jeffrey, I was always taught, keep your eye on the ball no matter what sport you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, listen, I did still feel horrible about the church secretary at
sometimes that ball gets on you real fast.
And it doesn't matter that, she was the other woman to the pastor. We didn't know that then,
And when I said baseball justice, I meant the pastor, not the
right. If I had hit him, that would have been better. But not that poor lady. Wilbur says, let me get this straight. Pastor's cheating on his wife and a lady catching balls with her face. Wow, that sounds like some sort of Cinemax movie, doesn't it?
Oh boy.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Last Optimist says keto fried chicken uses ground up pork rinds for breading. Hell no.
No.
Pork rinds, people who like pork rinds, it's like you're eating the sunburn off of somebody else. Only it happens to be a pig. You're peeling it and what spices on it?
And there goes anybody's hankering for a good pork rind.
I tried them. That's all I could think about. It's like Babe the pig spent a little too much time at the pool, and I was sitting there chawing on his peeling his sunburn. Fifth letter says Blender should make a men's slow pitch team and have tryouts for the fourth dimension. Best 15 make the team. I like the idea with all that spare time we have.
Yeah.
Got to take a break. That's 1 hour down and 2 to go. Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCullum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And if you haven't heard, the show is now noon to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. I'm on vacation for the week. But Izzy, who's joining you in studio? Keon will be in studio. So join Izzy and Keon Wednesday through Friday, and I'll be back on Monday the 11th. So join Izzy and Keon Wednesday through Friday, and I'll be back on Monday the 11th. You're on the main event. Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. Here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
Heart disease, asthma,
Diabetes.
and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36.
42.
you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Steve Jurich here. After working in financial services for over 20 years, I finally confirmed what investors really want, including me. And it's simple. All they're asking for is 20% annual return with no risk and 100% liquidity. Here's the problem. A money market is safe and liquid, but offers almost zero yield. Mutual funds and ETFs are liquid with upside potential, but aren't safe. A carefully selected next generation index annuity through IQ Wealth may offer 10% ample liquidity, principal protection, and a lifetime income yield potentially double to triple that of quality bonds. By yielding more income using fewer dollars, our system allocates more money for you for capital growth. It's a winning combination.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now, 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the claims paying ability of the insurer, so compare with Steve, 480-902-3333. Call Steve now.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
I'm serious. Like, if a hypnotist goes to an optometrist, does anything get done? You know, look deep into my eyes, and then all of a sudden they can't do an eye exam on you when you're hypnotizing them, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't work out. No,
That's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to think there's a lot of hypnotists out there who just can't see crap. Are we on?
Yeah,
We are.
I think we are.
Sorry. Yeah. Hi, everybody. It's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose there in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Because, yeah, once you look deep into their eyes, even if through like a little scope thingy, you know, and then, of course, the hypnotist, they can't resist. You're going to give me 70 boxes of free contact lenses. And the next thing you know, the poor optometrist is out of business. So I feel like, you know, this is a liability for the eye doctor.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think you're onto something here, Jeffco. We should probably warn the world about this.
well, we'll probably forget by the time I start the next sentence. So yeah, but I promised to tell you about a guy who's getting ready to do something kind of special, but we got distracted. But this is still a baseball thing. Matt Olson is trying to get an ultra rare distinction in baseball. He's on pace for a 60 double season.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Where he hits more than 60 doubles, right?
Right. Right. The record is Earl Webb back in 1931. He did that for the Red Sox, 67 doubles. So again, we were just talking about getting on base. Hitting a double ain't too damn bad. It's not a home run. It ain't sexy, but getting yourself on the second base with a hit, that's pretty good. And having 35 going into an All-Star break is no small feat, my friend.
No, it's not. I believe his feet are actually a size 12.
You do not seem impressed by this, Randy. I was very impressed by this.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed by it. Just because...
I mean, in these days and ages, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's what Ken's going to say. Sorry, Ken, didn't mean to.
But you're 100% correct. If you just look at the records, the top 5 doubles,
not since 1936 has this happened.
But when you start looking at some of these others, 36, 32, 34, 36, 26, 31, those are the top 5. 1931, you know, it's just been literally almost 100 years.
Nobody's done it twice. The most recent person who has come close, what was it even that close? Yeah, and then there was like a trade or something, so he couldn't do it on the same team. That was Nick Castellanos back in 2019. He had 58 doubles split between when he was on the Tigers and when he was on the Cubs. So that was pretty damn close. I mean, I think they should give it to him. I don't care if he's on 2 different teams. If he gets 60, give him 60. But he didn't get there. He did not get there. But now Matt Olson, you know, and this is a good reason why, you know, the Giants are doing pretty good, I guess, or not good. I don't know. That's pretty good though. Pretty good though.
And
yeah,
Matt Olson.
Yeah, listen, I'll take Matt Olson all day long on my lineup. If this guy's if he's got 35 doubles already this season, absolutely.
And what's particularly noteworthy about this one is that he's playing in Atlanta with the Braves. Truist Park is not great for doubles, and he's a lefty, so it's even worse for him in that ballpark. So for him to be on the pace that he is, it's not friendly to him for him to be getting these doubles, but he's still getting them anyway.
Right. He used to be on the Giants.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I got confused. Anyway, Matt Olson going into the All-Star break is more than halfway there. So we'll see what happens. All right. Another thing that has happened in the baseball, I guess on the 4th of July, this is a thing I'm surprised used to be a bigger deal here. I don't know if you hear stories about it or not, like 4th of July, New Year's Eve. I had a bunch of cop friends back when, we were doing the music radio there, Randy. And they would always tell me, okay, at exactly a certain time, like midnight on New Year's Eve, or as soon as it gets dark on the 4th of July, they would find an underpass and park there. And they're like, well, why would you do that? Because the bullets are going to start coming down.
Yeah.
I said, are people shooting at you? No, idiots are shooting their guns in the air like they see in the cartoons. But guess what? What goes up must come down. And a lot of times when the bullets come down, if it hits a person, that'll be the India. So these people are lucky at the Oakland A's game because 4 people got hit by some bullet fragments. I don't know if that meant the bullet came down, hit a structure and shattered, and then sent the shrapnel at them. But yeah, they were in the ballpark. And of course the cops were like, well, this gunfire was from outside of the ballpark, wasn't intentional, but this is the kind of thing that happens when morons shoot their pistolas into the air.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
So, I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can't sue the A's. It's not like it's their fault. It's just, one of those things. But luckily nobody was, seriously hurt by it. But I mean, you get a little piece of bullet in you. That ain't a small thing.
That's not fun. No, I remember years and years ago, we might still have been together. We hadn't been fired yet from the radio station, and
you had not been fired.
I
was never fired.
Yeah, you and I both were let go at the same time. But listen,
we really weren't. I quit.
It's not the point here. The point here is I got up on New Year's Day. We had an above ground pool. Anybody that's had those above, you had that rail, that sort of 16th inch steel rail that goes around. It's not aluminum. It's like 16th inch steel because it's got to hold this pool together. It's got to be strong. It's got to be rigid. And there was a 44 slug that had gone partially through that 16th inch steel.
Wow.
So imagine what it would do to a human skull.
Yep. That's right. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, you do know in foreign countries, that's the thing they do. Pastor says, you're now pronounced man and wife, and everybody shoots machine guns in the air right above themselves there. So I just have to hope the wedding party dies. I don't know. I don't think that's what he meant. I think he says half the wedding party probably dies. Hopefully they're shooting off at an angle. It ain't nobody in the wedding party, just probably some innocent bystanders half a mile away. Yeah, that is really stupid thing to do. I mean, I don't feel like that's something that we had to wait until the intelligence of now to figure out. Yeah. If you shoot the gun up, the bullet's coming down somewhere, and it might be on a person, dummy. Whatever the case, luckily, these people are going to be okay, but still, it's scary as hell. I mean, what if it had been a higher, caliber thing, or what if it hadn't hit something and shrapneled out? It could have killed somebody.
Yeah.
Dumb thing to do. Don't do that. Oh, speaking of gun fun, because it is the United States of these Americas, and yes, we did have again some gun violence over the weekend, mass shootings, and of course, the number one place for those mass shootings, I believe, is Texas. And so now, right after more shootings, right after one of the worst shootings you've ever heard of with all the poor kids, the Dallas Cowboys have announced a new sponsor. That's right. And I'm not making this up. They've unveiled on Twitter a new partnership with Black Rifle Coffee Company. Okay. Well, that's a bit tone deaf right now, isn't it? And you're going to say to me, oh, come on now. And listen, keep in mind, kids, I am pro-gun. I own a large arsenal. I enjoy, with my son, who's a former Marine, safely going out and shooting the crap out of stuff. It's fun, but we also are very safe. Now, understand, it's not about what I think about guns. It's more about timing. Dallas Cowboys, an institution of Texas. You've just had a tremendous tragedy. So that's just a statewide tragedy. It's a national tragedy. And very shortly after, and then more gun violence over the weekend, you announce a partnership with Black Rifle Coffee Company. Now, of course, the Dallas Cowboys have no comment, but they have said, well, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys support veterans, first responders, and America's men and women in uniform. Really? Okay. So the coffees that they sell are called AK-47 Espresso, Silencer Smooth, and Murdered Out. Two of those things, actually, three of those things don't sound like a tribute to military. AK-47, isn't that a Russian gun? Silencer Smooth. Well, if you're in the military, you're not really coming at people with a silencer, are you? Unless you're in the CIA. And Murdered Out. Sorry, ain't buying it, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. This is a tone-deaf moment for you to be doing some business like what you're doing there. And it is kind of disgusting.
We are talking about a man in Jerry Jones who believes that any publicity is good publicity.
Well, let me tell you something. I saw that old Jason Bourne. He had a silencer in his gun, and he was part of my government. Woo! I love this thing. I'll tell you what. You got the Jason Bourne with the silencer. Oh, I saw him murder out a lot of people, and that's America right there. Murdering out. And woo! AK-47 Espresso. Don't act like you don't want one. Woo! Jerry Jones out.
Just incredibly tone deaf. Just could it not wait a year?
I don't think we need to wait. I think we should go ahead and vote to eject Texas from the union. They've been talking about seceding. I think we say, well here, there's the door.
Just give people a window to get out.
Bye-bye. Wait. We'll keep the oil. And then, of course, you expect that from a Chicago thing. That's a Chicago thing. You know what I mean? If a Chicago Bears or White Sox or Cubs decided to have, a Black Rifle Coffee Company, you're like, well, that's on brand. That's a murdering capital right there. But now the Chicago mayor is recommending something that might be worse. He's saying, hey, don't move to Arlington Heights. I say we build a dome over Soldier Field.
But why? What is it that Soldier Field had or didn't have that is now solved by there being a dome?
Wins in winter.
Okay.
The win percentage of the Bears in winter starts to plummet. And the wind and the rain and the snow. And we have wondered forever, why don't they have a dome? I mean, in this modern age. And they're like, because it's history. And now they're like, let's get a dome. Let's build a dome over us. I think it's a good idea, personally. You guys don't think it's a good idea?
Well, I've been by that stadium, and it's right on the lake. It is right on the lake.
Lake affect everything.
I don't see building a dome as solving the issue. Plus, the stadium itself is sort of a weird. Is it going to be like an open air dome like they have in
no, like a dome,
Los Angeles?
Like, let's close this thing up.
Like, are they going to give it a
temperature
hat?
control?
Like
It is a strange shaped building. I've driven right by Soldier Field. It is a strange shaped building. I don't see
they're
that
going to build a dome over it, and just whatever's there stays where it's at.
I don't think they have enough real estate to build a dome over that stadium.
It's either to protect against the elements or the bullets that fall down from all the murders.
that is probably a better explanation, because the win percentage going down in December, it doesn't go down in Green Bay. They play outside in the cold.
Yeah.
They got Aaron Rodgers. That's a bit different.
Okay, well, draft a good
who do the Bears have?
They have Justin Fields right now, but I mean,
think they should do this. I think they should put a damn dome.
Buffalo went to 4 damn Super Bowls with Jim Kelly, and right now the Josh Allen thing's looking all right.
And being outside gave him cancer in the face, didn't it? See, that's why they should have a dome.
Chewing the tobacco gave him.
He wouldn't have chewed the tobacco if he had maybe not that. He was trying to calm his chattering teeth.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he was cold. You're saying if Jim Kelly was cold, he chewed the red man. Okay.
We should have him on the show. We'll ask him. I'll tell you right there. I love just behind the scenes, every other douchebag sports radio talk show host that we've ever been across, they would always like make these snide remarks to us like, so who do you have on the show? Who do you need on the show to make your show complete, a-hole? I mean, we don't need guests. We don't want guests. We got the fourth dimension. That's all we care about.
Yeah.
But so the thought of getting Jim Kelly, then you're like, nah, because we don't want to be like the other shows. Although I do have a lot of respect for Jim Kelly. Boomer Sooner, thank you for that. I read that one. Baker's Cocky Hen says, did you guys see the Utah fireworks show someone did at home? Went horrible. Oh, yeah. They're all sitting on their front lawn. And they're lighting off a couple, but then I guess somebody accidentally set the box on fire.
Well, yeah, because what happened was they lit them off, but the first explosion just kind of happened on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I think something from a spark from that one made its way to the box of fireworks that they had and lit off the entire box of fireworks.
Yeah.
Kids were smart. They ran like hell. Grandma was a bit slow on the uptake.
Yeah, Grandma.
I think she took a Roman candle to the back.
Possibly, because she got up and then she sat down like, oh, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought. Oh, dear Lord, it's as bad as I thought. And then she got up to go, and then one tagged her.
I think we've all seen the video, because I saw in there that it had been seen 17 million times.
Oh,
that was this morning. That is a great, I'll tell you what.
I think 300 of them were just me.
My wife is like, we should have, we have some cameras, but I want to put some more cameras on the outside of the house. And she's worried that if we hang these cameras, that our neighbors will think we're creepers. And I said, well, I just want to, let's put them down low, so we only see if something comes over the fence. We don't have to see over their fence. I just want to see if, like we saw all these damn fireworks that the dog was chewing in the yard because what happened. But anyway, I said we should have a camera that goes out into the front of the house, like to the whole street and everything. And I realized, I guess we could make so much money if somebody does something really stupid out there. Because that was one of those doorbell cameras or something.
Yeah, just like the Ring camera or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine the potential right there. So the text line is really grasping the idea of a dome over Soldier Field in Chicago. Big George says, you don't build a dome on Soldier Field. It's part of the atmosphere. Would you put a dome on Lambeau Field? Heck no. Mayor Lori Lightfoot is an idiot. Well, honestly, I don't think that's an idiot thing. I think that is, if you build a dome over the existing stadium, it's got to be cheaper than building a brand new stadium, and it would improve the chance of the Bears playing better.
And the Lori Lightfoot, is this her idea? She doesn't own the team.
No, she's proposing that the city make its
she's-
own renovations to keep the team in town, and this is her idea. Yes.
She don't want to lose the Bears to Arlington Heights.
She's got a committee exploring the feasibility of adding the dome.
I just think that if your team's good, people go out in the cold and watch.
Yeah.
And if your team isn't playing well in the winter, it's not just because of the cold, because if you got good players, good quarterbacks, good receivers,
more people will show up and sit through that garbage if they're not freezing to death.
I don't see it being a problem in Green Bay, and Green Bay is blanking cold. So if you win,
especially off the lake there.
They are cheese curd fatter and have more warmth. I'm not going to argue with you about
as
this.
opposed to the bratwurst fatter of the Chicago area. Like, no, people in Chicago can handle the damn cold. They're okay.
I think both should have domes. Seriously. I think both should have domes. Wayne Guru says having no dome and being on the lake is part of the experience of playing in Soldier Field, or experience it from a fan standpoint. It sounds miserable. I like it cold, and it sounds horrible. Last Optimist says Bears want the same thing the Coyotes and Diamondbacks want: stadium, hotels, restaurants, and stores, all in land they own, creating revenue for the team. Well, then by all means, taxpayers should pay for that. Thunder Snow says Fourth Dimension is way more entertaining than Jim Kelly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that is despite him being a good person.
Hamilton Porter says, after they renovate Soldier Field, looks like a spaceship landed on it. Lions have always had a dome on their stadium because God got sick of having to watch them play.
Well, there is that. Yeah.
God and everyone else.
First and 15 says Mayor Beetlejuice with another brilliant idea.
Oh, it's the eyes.
Yeah, that's good. Blissful Hayes says, did Dusty Rhodes make an appearance WWE Friday night here in Phoenix?
I don't think he did. No,
because he's mostly dead.
Well, he was busy. I have it on good authority that Dusty Rhodes was busy.
Hefty Lefty says, I thought if you shoot the moon, the bullets end up amongst the stars. Damn inspirational quote. Just lied to me. They usually do. All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, let's talk about some of that college football stuff. There are so many things going now. It's all swirling around. The ACC is talking to the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is talking to the Big 12 and the 10 and the 9, 8, whatever. Let's see if we can make any sense of it, or whether or not there will be sense to be made. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, y'all, this is your girl, Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at Metamucil.com today.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved, and the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season,
You'd better think again.
the NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more.
Football is always in season here.
We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Your home for football.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Big George wonders if the Bears could just play in a college stadium, like the Coyotes are going to do with ASU. Send the Bears to Evanston to play at Northwestern, he says.
A lot of the Coyote games, oddly, this year, this coming year, going to be on the road. Not sure why.
It's almost like the schedule makers knew better.
Not sure why.
Speaking of college, college football realignment is just sort of gone crazy. Rumors everywhere. Pac-12, Big 12, and maybe you end up with an SEC and a Big 10 playoff. The ACC and the Pac-12 are discussing what they call a loose partnership that could be in a championship game in Vegas. When is the NCAA going to step forward and say, stop?
Never.
Why won't they? Why? Is there a reason they can't?
There's no good reason they can't, because
that just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make these teams and these programs and these conferences even the least bit bothered that they have to follow the NCAA. They've been following NCAA rules and regulations and guidelines when it comes to paying players and all of this stuff this entire time. So you can follow it one more step to, hey, what conference are we going to make? Or what is this going to look like? What is a playoff look like?
There needs to only be four. I know they're talking two. I say there should be four. There should be Northwest, Southwest, Northeast, Southeast, and then just carve the country out into quarters. And that's your conference, that's your conference, that's your conference, that's your conference. And if you end up with a lopsided, Southern Conference, Southeast or whatever, because that's where football lives or whatever, fine. Then the other schools had better get their asses in gear and come to compete.
Because how is that different from what we have now?
Right. So carve it into fours. And if you do carve it into twos, then you need, like, say there is the big, the Western 30 and the Eastern 30. Well, you better have North and South teams to do conference kind of stuff, because if you really care about education, if you really care about how this whole thing should work better, that is to where these kids shouldn't have to travel that much every weekend to play a football game, until you're in playoffs. And so, I say carve it into four conferences. Occasionally you play somebody out, just like they do in the NFL or whatever, but mostly you're playing against your conference, find who's the best teams from this conference, and then you have a playoff, and then you have a national champion. And one organization should be in charge of the whole damn thing. And if it's not the NCAA, they're out of their damn minds.
These guys don't care anything about academics. It's all about money.
Well, that's even more reason that the NCAA should step up.
The NCAA has lost control, and now conferences are going rogue. Look at what just happened. UCLA and USC going to their big conference now. Big 12 is talking about ASU and U of A and Washington and Oregon State showing up in their conference. I mean, this thing is ridiculous. I don't know. And now the big talk is, what will Notre Dame do? What is Notre Dame going to do? Well, they've been an independent, and if they decide to go into one conference or the next, which they're going to have to figure out somewhere to go, or be left out.
You make it regional. You make everything regional. And there's no reason. Okay, there's plenty of reasons the NCAA should, because the NCAA could be the one-stop shop, and more money goes to the NCAA, and they can also say, listen, guys, gather around. Here's what we're going to do. And you'll make more money. We'll make more money. Everybody wins. And we end up with a legitimate championship playoff system every year that makes more sense than the BCS ever did. And, we'll have this thing structured to where it's not hard on your students. It's not hard on these things. This whole damn thing under one roof could make so much money and everybody could win. Education, NCAA, colleges, students, everybody could win from this.
Well, maybe for football, but Keon, I don't know what you think. I think this thing is going to have to split up. They're going to have a football conference, that will control the football side of things. You're going to have a basketball conference because there's so many D1 colleges that don't have football teams that have basketball teams, and vice versa. There are some conferences that have football teams that don't have basketball teams. So you're going to have to split these major sports up, in my opinion.
Nope. You just you use the same conference setting for every sport.
Well,
and
what do you do with Gonzaga?
Well, then, if they're out, then another team in that region is in. If you have to replay, if teams are in that region or not in that region, you know what I'm saying? If you're a school that has only football but not basketball, then you grab another team from that region to play in that region of basketball. So maybe their football team's not going to be in that. So I'm just saying it should all be regional. The NCAA should overlord on every sport regionally. Give or take a school here and there for this or that, but it would make it so much easier.
I don't think you're necessarily wrong. And I do think that, look, the idea of education in this was always a farce, but you could at least pretend, if you do it that way, that education is important. But the NCAA is not interested in grabbing this by the horns because the NCAA, quite frankly, they make a lot of money the way things are, and they have been. This is just how they are as an organization. They kind of sit back and let stuff happen. They don't direct anything. They don't upset the cash flow. I mean, for goodness sakes, when we look at all of these bowl games that they've got going on there, there used to be a committee that used to sit down and say, this team is playing this team in the bowl games. Now it's all kind of decided by the winner of this conference plays the winner of this conference. We don't even need the committee anymore for that. They still sit there and collect the paycheck. That is I had an SEC writer tell me this. The reason why that nobody steps up to mention that we don't need this committee is the committee is just sitting there quietly hoping that nobody notices that a bunch of them are getting paid to not decide bowl games. They don't have to do anything. They just show up, they get paid, they go home. So that's part of what this is. It's greed. It's the reason why. It's greed and laziness. It's a combination of those things. And the conferences have always sorted this out themselves. Anytime we've had a school want to move, from one conference to another, they've always sorted it out. And so I don't expect the NCAA to now get up off the bench and get in the field of play now that the schools that want to move are bigger. They've never gotten involved before. I don't expect them to start now.
Well, this whole thing is just silly. And I don't know how anybody can love it. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know that anybody loves it. I think.
No, I'm talking about college football.
Oh, I mean, the game itself, of course, that's easy to love.
You don't end up with a legit champion. You don't end up with a legitimate playoff structure. You don't end up with legitimate bowl games.
I understand.
There's too many damn bowl games. You need to make
100%,
these things legitimate.
Well, if you love college football, then the bowl games just kind of work out for you. It's just, oh, cool, more college football. But when you're talking about But when you're talking about, do we have legitimate champions? And you're always going to have that question in the back of your mind of, if we had a playoff structure that made sense, would we feel better about who actually won these things? Like, I feel pretty confident the last handful of years that we watched the best two teams in the title game, but I'm always in the back of my mind going, but maybe we didn't, maybe some team didn't get a shot, that deserved one because our playoff structure doesn't necessarily allow for it.
See, here's the thing too, and you get college basketball and in some of these bowl games, automatic bids. College basketball is like this as well. But I've been kind of sitting back watching what's going on. Why don't we have some sort of a system in place? Like, if you're the top 50 schools, if you have these top 50 schools, okay, athletically speaking, football, top 50 schools, you split them up. All right, that's 25 and 25, East and West. And those guys, they're the ones that figure it out, because let's face it, Duke is not going to win a football championship. They shouldn't even be in the damn championship series. You know what I mean? It's always going to come down to one of these top 50 schools. Your Alabamas, your Auburns, your Clemsons, your Ohio States. Those are going to be the teams you're going to be seeing over and over in playoffs. Why do we have this football bowl series or this football championship league? It needs to be the top 50 teams. They're the ones that are going to go for it every year.
It's not hard to figure out if the NCAA was to take over these things. That okay, here's who is your team is good enough for football, not good enough for basketball. You can play in the lower ranks, but once you start to show yourself as a better team, and we'll start to think about making change. We'll bring you in the fold there. Some teams will care, some teams will not. I don't think this is impossible to overcome. It's not impossible to say, okay, ASU, let's say, well, we've got a strong football team, but let's say our basketball team is really bad or something for a stretch of years. Sorry, you're not in this. You're not in this until you have a better team. It's not impossible to wrap your brain around it. It's not like you have to be, well, for Pac-12 for football, then we are for basketball. We are for this. We are for everything. It doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way, but part of the frustration with the NCAA is that they're just going to sit back and let this happen. So if you sit back and let it happen, the conferences are going to decide what's going on. And the conferences would like to be good at basketball and football and would like to try and have a good mix of those things because those are the two revenue sports for most universities. And so they're going to try and figure out a way to make this happen. And we're going to basically be at the mercy of, and let's be honest, it's going to be the Big Ten or the SEC, which one of those conferences winds up getting big and strong and powerful enough first to really dictate the terms of what a super conference even looks like. That's what we're waiting for.
And just so you know, CBS Sports was saying yesterday that Arizona, ASU, Colorado, and Utah were all being targeted by the Big 12 to make the move as well. This is all getting weird, convoluted, and crazy. And by the way, it's funny. I've got two texts. One says, "You're right, Jeffrey." Another one says, "Are you kidding me, Jeffrey?" So let's.
And this is one of the reasons why, when you want to know, like, why doesn't anything change in college football very fast? It's because you pick any topic in college athletics. Let's not even limit it to football. Any topic in college athletics, you will have one person that thinks that any change you make is the greatest thing that you could do, and another person who's like, this is the worst idea ever.
Guess what? That's why you need a grown-up. A grown-up needs to step in and just say, well, this is how
you're 100%. And that's what the NCAA is supposed to do, but they're not.
That's what I'm saying.
But what's happening right now, what we're seeing right now, guys, I think is a pool full of alligators, and the big gator is going to be the one at the top, and they're going to be the super conference. Everybody else will get left behind.
And this is the reason why the Big 12 is making the move they're making. It's not just to keep up with the Joneses.
They want
and
to
not
be the
fall
Big
behind.
25.
But the Big 12 is looking at the Pac-12 right now and going, well, if we took the conference, the teams that are left, sure, Big 10, SEC, they may rule football. We're going to dominate basketball. And so we're already making this weirder, and this is going to branch out further in odd directions than we realize.
Well, the Jet says, "Are you kidding me, Jeffrey? There's nothing better than a bowl game on December 22nd. There's nothing else on Christmas but crap." That's not true. The more bowl games, the better. That means we're watching football during the week, drinking beer. Beer me. Drink beer, me and Beeman.
Like, if you love college football, you're never going to say there are too many bowl games. You're just going to watch them.
I mean, I love college football, but like the Birmingham Bowl. Come on, man.
Yeah, look, it does suck when you're like, yeah, I want to root for these kids, and they're out there playing in a bowl game, and they've earned this opportunity, and then the stadium's like half full. That does take away from a little bit of the luster of it.
Hamilton Porter says, "You're right, Jeffrey. Look at Villanova. You don't see them pining away to play D1 football." And education went out the window and it became okay for UCLA to have to fly to Rutgers for a conference game.
I mean, because college football players already live in a world where they have one less day to study for all the same material that other students have to, because they've got to leave on Friday to travel for the game Saturday. So if you're coming out of Los Angeles and you've got to go to Piscataway, New Jersey to play Rutgers, You leave Thursday. Now you have 2 days less to be educated than everybody else.
Well, most of these dirty bastards have other people taking their tests for them, so it's okay.
We don't know to what degree that's true. Like
Well,
there
there
are
a higher degree now because it'll have to be.
there are star players, but there's no way the left guard has someone taking his test because he may be going pro in something other than football.
The left guard has people finishing sentences for him because
these bigger teams, they do have a staff of tutors, and they are available whether in person or online. They have exclusive access to these tutors that work with them when these athletes travel. So I do know that as a fact. So
yeah.
Tutor, 4-door, whatever it takes. Big George says, I agree. There needs to be a better conference system in place. If only there was a governing board like the NCAA, they would implement a playoff structure where the best 16 teams in the country square off in a tournament. The Jet says, what about you, Arizona? There you can get no education, no football, but hey, they're D1.
Yeah, well.
Hefty Lefty says 4 conferences, 20 teams, each conference, 43 teams that don't make the top 80. Those teams get relegated to FCS where they should be anyway for football. North Dakota State would then hold their own against most of those bottom 43 schools anyway. They already have football different than all other sports, right? There is no FBS, no FCS of any other sport. Many of the FCS football schedule schools are Division I in all their other sports, i.e. Big Sky Conference. Hefty Lefty had a lot to say right there.
I mean, Hefty Lefty, I agree with you. I think that's something along the similar lines that I was saying just a few minutes ago. I think there should be like an upper echelon of teams that play for the championship. The rest of this stuff is just, it's white noise. There's no reason to have football conferences, and because these guys aren't, there's 50 teams maybe that have a shot at the damn championship.
The only reason why football works the way it works, because no other sport in college athletics works the way football works, is because of the amount of money involved in football. And so you have the money basically driving all the decision making. So yeah, the FBS, FCS distinction, it's kind of BS. It doesn't really need to exist. We see it in college basketball all the time. Teams that don't normally get the top flight players, if you get the right coaching staff, the right medical staff, the right facilities, you can still make a run in an NCAA tournament. We don't have that in college football.
Last Optimist says NCAA has a stranglehold on basketball due to their March tournament. They have nothing to control football programs. NCAA can't stop any of the NIL, and any rules they put down on NIL will violate antitrust laws. NCAA operating budget is completely funded by the March basketball tournament. Well, that's the thing. If they stepped forward and said, here's what we're going to do, then everybody would have to fall in line. And now their all their funding is coming from 2 things instead of 1.
And I know we're up against a break, but whose fault is it that they don't have control over football? Because right now, any one of these conferences, when they get powerful enough, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen here. They're going to go to the college football playoff, which is its own entity. It's not run by the NCAA.
Yeah.
It's not run by college athletics. It's its own entity. And the college football playoff may end up determining where we wind up, even though they're only in charge of football, not basketball or baseball or softball or anything else.
It's a cluster bleep. That's what it is.
100%.
All right. There's a couple more people that have some things to say. We'll let them have their say before we move on when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Now, you know, when it came to my KFC meal, I had to put some thought into it.
KFC, may I take your order?
So I started off with a warm and toasted brioche bun. Word of advice, do not sleep on brioche buns. They're French and they're fire. Now, for the star of the show, have you ever seen such a beautiful chicken sandwich? You gotta make mine spicy. Add a side of mac and cheese, secret recipe fries, ranch, and an ice-cold lemonade. There you have it. Check out the new Jack Harlow meal at KFC.
Order ahead or on the KFC app today. Prices and participation may vary.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver with advanced technology and equipment so we can reach over 160 million addresses across the country. We're delivering for thinkers, doers, movers, shakers, groundbreakers, future makers, innovators, trailblazers, disruptors, streamers, dreamers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/delivery.
Remember when you could go to the doctor and actually leave feeling better? Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Katz. The problem with our healthcare system is the focus on the system and not on your healthcare. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum healthcare using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men and women's health. We help people find relief when other doctors have failed. Our naturopathic doctors can restore your pain-free life using cutting-edge regenerative treatments. We can also help restore balance to your immune, digestive, and hormonal systems. Addressing your cause can also improve both mental and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working for you, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call us. We're the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, Arizona at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161 or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Blue Star medicated ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff. Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast or your money back.
Now, you know, when it came to my KFC meal, I had to put some thought into it.
KFC, may I take your order?
So I started off with a warm and toasted brioche bun. Word of advice, do not sleep on brioche buns. They're French and they're fire. Come on. Now, for the star of the show, have you ever seen such a beautiful chicken sandwich? You gotta make mine spicy. Add a side of mac and cheese, secret recipe fries, ranch, and an ice-cold lemonade. There you have it. Check out the new Jack Harlow meal at KFC.
Order ahead or on the KFC app today. Prices and participation may vary.
Your home for NASCAR. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, July 6th. And you can be a new customer and turn K's into cash, big hits into big wins with the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Sign up at the FanDuel Sportsbook using promo code Randy1580. Place your first bet, and FanDuel will give you up to $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. That's one of the great things I love about FanDuel Sportsbook. They have great promotions every day. The app is safe and secure. It's real easy to sign up. You don't have any hesitations. It takes about literally 90 seconds to sign up. You get paid fast when you win, and there's all sorts of different opportunities for you to win on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So there's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. If you're a baseball fan and you love getting into the game, then please download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, and to sign up, use promo code Randy1580 to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. And one thing that I really love about it, if you've been on the app for a while, and I was on there the other day, just kind of perusing around, looking for opportunities. I was kind of swimming around, looking for opportunities. And the app actually said, hey, you've been on here a long time. Remember, you want to be responsible. We hope that you're having a pleasant experience, but be careful with how you do that. And they are serious about that. They don't want to see people spending money that they don't have or getting into trouble. On the sportsbook app, spending their rent money or whatever. And that's why they always say you need to call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text Next Step to 53342 if you have a gambling problem. They're checking on you as you're on the sportsbook app. And I like that. I think that's cool. You got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona, first online real money wager only, refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions do apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, again, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text Next Step to 53342.
All right, Randy, I've got to ask you for something else.
Okay. All right.
So it says it's 100 degrees right now, but it was supposed to be 108 degrees.
Mhm.
Did it make it to 108 degrees today and then the temperatures dropped? Because what's going on with the weather right now? And then I made the mistake.
Mhm.
I hate spoilers. Okay, you know that with it comes to
Spoilers.
movies or TVs, but I
Yeah.
looked ahead on the weather and sweet jumping Jesus, it's going to get ridiculous this
Well,
weekend and into next week. You want to give us a little bit of a weather forecast? I'm hoping that maybe you're seeing something different than what I'm seeing.
Okay. Well, as far as the weather goes, from the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randino Waitino coming to you live from the Harvard Solar 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. It's about 105 right now downtown Phoenix, Jeffco. 105. No
right.
rain in the forecast right now. There's always a chance of those afternoon thunder boomers showing up in the North Valley, coming down from the high country, sometimes from the southern parts of the United States, blowing into our state. But I don't see anything on the radar right now. It looks pretty clear. There's a few little green spots here and there. Yes, we're expecting some seasonably warm temperatures on Friday, 112, Saturday, 114, 113 on Sunday, partly cloudy on Sunday. Right now, though, it's 105 in downtown Phoenix. We're keeping track of weather from the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. I'm Randy White, Chief Meteorologist.
Yeah, 6 days in a row, at least what I can see, starting Friday, going all the way to Wednesday, over 112.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Welcome to July in Arizona.
I know. It's still, I hate
Sorry,
it.
I wish I had better news for you.
I hate it. Let's get caught up on the text line. As promised, we were talking about this whole big mess of college football. Keon, do you really like my idea, but you just don't think it'll ever happen, right?
Yeah, that's my thing. Is your idea is a good idea. I think that regional, first off, helps us keep the farce of the education thing going, but also I think it's better for when it comes to rivalries. For instance, you have these teams that you play often in your region, which college football, big on rivalries. You can keep a lot of the same classic traditional rivalries that you have. You're not trying to create something new that might actually be fun or interesting in maybe a decade. You can keep the stuff that we all are familiar with. You can even rearrange the bowl games around, the regional play. No, it's a good idea. Right. I just don't think that anybody has a clear plan right now that actually has a say in where we're going.
Well, let's say that I made a call or I just put it on, say Indeed, that I'll be the head of the NCAA. And
Mark Emmert probably won't notice. Half asleep.
Indeed, they do need my help. And then I show up first day of work as the head poobah of the NCAA. I don't know if they call the guy.
I think it'd be emperor.
Sure,
is the word you're looking for.
I'll walk up to a podium and I lay out my plan for for a good playoff structure and a good structure of what teams are in what conference, and it's all going to be done under the NCAA. There's no more of these Pac-12s, big this, small that, whatever. And what would stop me? What would stop me from going out there and doing that? There's nothing that would stop me. I just have to say, guys, this is what we're doing, and we go out there and do it. I feel like all the schools would then see, okay, they'd all show up.
I have seen this play out enough times with these schools that, yeah, they could say no. Some schools could put their heels in the dirt and say no. Some conferences might, but for the most part, they tend to want the cohesion. The NCAA just won't do it. So what would stop you from doing it? Probably nothing. You could probably, if you set up something that was beneficial to most schools, you could probably get something laid out and working.
All right. Well, Mr. Wilbur is going a different way. He says presidents and leaders of each university and the conferences need to get together, form a college football league that totally excludes the NCAA. Basically, a football league that governs itself, rewrites all the rules for itself. Wishful thinking? Yeah, but that's the direction this thing is going. NCAA is worthless and simply has its hand out, expecting all the money that's been getting over the years and doing nothing for it or with it. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. That's the thing I just don't understand. Somebody could step up and make this thing right. Wing Guru says Keon is right. For some stupid reason, the NCAA has no jurisdiction over the individual conferences. And even though we all talked about, all we're talking about is football, this is going to have an effect on a lot of the other college sports and the smaller conferences who are going to need some of that money. What's probably going to happen is these new TV contracts and conference agreements will be short in terms of years, one or two tops. Then they can give themselves a chance to figure it out and realign if necessary. And then they'll see if the real value of the new teams in the different conferences, and then we're going to negotiate that money.
Yeah.
Sounds like a damn mess.
It is a damn mess. And the reason why I have no faith in the NCAA to step up, honestly, how they handled COVID was egregious to me, because however you fall on the issue of vaccinated, not vaccinated, should have played, should not have played, had the NCAA put out a stance on that, schools would have tried to make that work. The NCAA just said, we're not getting involved. And that was a global pandemic. Now we're just talking about realigning the conferences for sports.
Yeah.
If they weren't going to do it for health and safety, they're not doing it. They're just not doing it.
Rough Rob says he's having a hard time typing this because he's laughing so hard. College football conferences doing what's best for them and giving the NCAA the big fat double birds is what's going on. It's all about the money. Woo!
Yeah. But the NCAA could insert themselves into this. And if they could make the argument that, hey, if we structure this, everybody's going to make their money, the conferences are not going to have a problem with this, but the NCAA is not moving. So the Big Ten is looking at the SEC adding Texas and Oklahoma. Well, we're not going to fall behind. We're not going to live in a world where the SEC tells us how this works. So we're going to go and we're going to take USC and UCLA. Well, now the Big 12 is looking at that and going, we don't have the best conference, but we might have something if we grab those other 6 Pac-12 schools. And the ACC is trying to create some kind of alliance just because they don't want to be left, holding nothing. So
the football Cold War.
I mean, because the ACC is the weakest of the football conferences, if we're 100% honest. They've got Clemson, and then they've got this loose affiliation with Notre Dame, and they've got nothing else really worth watching. So they're kind of the odd conference out. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. So they're just trying to make this thing last. Some conference is going to suck up enough schools around them that they're going to have the say in where we go.
Hamilton Porter says, wait, so basically Mr. Wilbur wants the LIV for college football. Yeah, well, Mr. Wilbur is Saudi, so I think that does make sense. I think it does make sense.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Hefty Lefty says, yes, Randy, we pretty much have the same idea. Whether it's 50 teams or 80, we're on the same page. The main pushback I will see from this plan is it will virtually solidify the top league of college football as the minor league of the NFL, especially with the NIL money coming in. I would predict a full minor league breakaway from college in 15 years if they go with the top 50 or 80 teams. NFL will change their years out of high school requirements and render top-level college football obsolete as we know it. Hefty Lefty, I could not disagree more. I just don't think that that's ever going to be that way.
As long as the NFL can continue to use college football as their free major leagues, the NFL will never step in and interrupt what's going on in college football.
No. Boomer Sooner says, hey, Jeffrey, Boomer Sooner in North Phoenix, I-17 clear from Happy Valley all the way through New River. Temperatures 102, wind out of the west, 5 miles an hour. Back to you, Jeffrey.
Why is Boomer Sooner doing my bit?
Yeah, I don't understand. Who's he think he is? There?
Does he need to be put in the penalty box, I think, for a while?
Yeah, that's your call, man. If
Nobody asked Boomer Sooner to go out on the damn road and drive around and give weather and traffic conditions from this radio show. I don't know why Boomer Sooner is allowed to do this, Jeffrey. I want to lodge a formal complaint against Boomer Sooner.
5-minute penalty box. Skate on in there, Boomer Sooner. I'm not reading any more text from you until after the next hour. So in the 5 o'clock, you can come back. But for the next 5 minutes, why don't you go ahead and get in there. Get in there. Miss Wilbur says, mark my words, by the year 2030, bowl games as we know them today will technically only represent a playoff appearance by name only.
Wow. Really? So you mean the Tabasco Bowl featuring 2 no names will be a playoff game?
I'm not taking any of this. No, I'm not taking any of this because there's no way Mr. Wilbur is still around in 2030.
The Bell Helicopters Bowl.
Yeah, Mr. Wilbur, we'll be remembering you fondly. Big George says, hey, Keon, the ACC has Florida State. They won the national championship a few years ago, back in 2014 with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, and Florida State was supposed to still be here on the map. Ask Jimbo what happened. Jimbo was the reason why Florida State no longer exists. He imploded it, and then he just left. Yeah. Jimbo Fisher's like the guy that just uses the bathroom, blows it up, doesn't turn on the fan or anything, and just walks out the door.
He's Dale Hellestray?
That is correct. He won a national championship at Florida State. Stuff started going downhill. academically and otherwise. And Jimbo just walked out the door and left that entire football program in a lurch.
Someone else can turn on the fan. I feel like we should have some matches in there.
Dale, just flip
maybe a candle.
Just hit it on your way out, man.
After me, you're gonna need a flamethrower.
Burn it down. Hamilton Porter says, screw it. Flip 64 coins. Last remaining bowl is the playoff site. All right. Enough of this. You know what? When we come back, we're talking NFL. I didn't get to yesterday, but today, by God, we will start the hour with it. There's nothing in my way of talking NFL for an hour, and we got plenty to talk about. So come on back, kids. That's 2 hours down and 1 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Now, you know, when it came to my KFC meal, I had to put some thought into it.
KFC, may I take your order?
So I started off with a warm and toasted brioche bun. Word of advice, do not sleep on brioche buns. They're French and they're fire. Now, for the star of the show, have you ever seen such a beautiful chicken sandwich? You gotta make mine spicy. Add a side of mac and cheese, secret recipe fries, ranch, and an ice-cold lemonade. And there you have it. Check out the new Jack Harlow meal at KFC.
Order ahead or on the KFC app today. Prices and participation may vary.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
Well, Mrs. Grayer, nothing on the x-ray that pinpoints the source of the pain. Let's send you to our lumbar expert.
After reviewing the x-rays, I can't see anything wrong. Let's give you a steroid shot for the pain and send you to the lab for some blood work.
Tired of the runaround? How about trying a new approach? The holistic approach.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K2.1 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside John Rose, because Randy went off to get some whiskey. But when Randy comes back, I'll be alongside him, because Keon Rose is actually just sitting in the control room there. But I'm punishing Randy because he's not here. So, alongside Keon Rose and nobody else. Hey, by the way, how is it doing that midday show today. How'd it go with you and Izzy?
It was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Had a blast, and I'll be back tomorrow.
Did Izzy stay awake through the whole thing?
He did stay awake through the whole thing. Actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he sleeps through most of that show. As he may be talking, but the lights are on and nobody's home, man. You know what I mean?
I mean,
just
with
probably
how
so tired.
Yeah, I mean, with how early he has to get here, I cannot imagine. Literally, I cannot imagine that early in the morning. I'm not awake.
He's young and made out of rubber. That'll do it. That's what, when you're young, you're made out of rubber. You can bounce back from anything. Hefty Lefty wants to keep going on that college football conversation. So I'll go ahead and I'll entertain you, but I do want to move on, guys. He says, I respect your disagreement, but to Keon's point, I don't see the NFL losing anything by changing that age requirement. There can be a minor league without the NFL paying for anything. It's not a baseball style minor league where, there are team affiliations. They would just let the top schools run the super conference the way they want. NFL knows they wouldn't be overtaken as a league, so they don't lose anything. Nothing will really change for the NFL. Just be a little bit of a middle finger to the NCAA. Well, I don't see the NFL changing the requirements, not because of what the NCAA thinks, just because of public perception. Meaning, these kids got to get some education before they go running off to the NFL. I think that's the perception that they're going to work against. I don't think they're going to mess with that. And especially right now, you can't think of amateur sports as a minor league. You know what I mean? Minor league baseball players get paid. Some of these college students will get paid with a name and likeness, but that doesn't mean all of them will. But all minor league baseball players get paid. So yeah, maybe I'm just picking at the points here, but I don't see any reason the NFL would have to even change that. I mean, a middle finger to the NCAA doesn't mean anything because they don't care. They don't seem to care anymore.
I don't think the NFL really thinks about the NCAA at all. That would be my only pushback on that. Would be they could give a finger to the NCAA, but why? They don't care. If this restructure is happening entirely above the NCAA's head. They have no say-so in what is going on right now because they refuse to have a say-so. So now all these conferences are going to realign and set up and structure whatever system and series of programs they want. And the NFL is like, hey, as long as draft day rolls around and you keep giving us human beings to play in the league, we don't care.
Well, if you want me to start caring a lot about college football, I'd like to see it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we do want to move on. But before we get to the NFL football, I was disappointed, and I just want to reach out right now to one person and say something to them. It's not your fault. Joey Chestnut, it's not your fault. Okay. He came out today and he said, yeah, as soon as I grabbed the guy, I realized it was a kid and I just felt bad afterwards. I was amped up. I was focused on getting back to eating. If he hadn't have bumped into me, I wouldn't even thought about it. If he stood next to me, I would have ignored him, but he bumped into me, got in the way of what I was doing there. And he said, if he hadn't elbowed me, we wouldn't have had a problem. But he says, but I also wish they didn't even get on stage. Like, where the hell was the security? But here's the thing. That kid was 21 years old. Okay. So he's not a kid really. He's old enough to vote, drink, fight for the country. Well, you're no longer a kid. And when you do dumb things, well, then you get what you get. And he did get arrested and charged with criminal trespass and stuff like that. A couple other guys did too. And but listen, I don't know if your first move needs to be putting a dude in chokehold, but also, it's not the first thought that a football player is going to flatten a guy who runs out onto the field like my Colts player did back in the day. Or like, actually recently it's happened where somebody went, bonk, and took a guy out. So no, I don't think Joey Chestnut needs to feel bad about putting, he might've been skinny, but he wasn't a kid. He was 21 years old.
Yeah. That's a grown ass man.
Right.
Maybe an immature one, when I was 21, I did a bunch of dumb stuff too. But if you go up on the stage and somebody chokes you out or punches you or whatever, you get what you get. And I feel like at 21, you can figure that out.
I'd like to know what Keon did. That was stupid. I'd like to know what he did. Well, he said he did a lot of stupid things when he was 20.
Oh yeah,
I'd like
yeah.
to
What
know-
did you do? Stupid.
I'd like to
What was
know what
stupid?
Keon did. Yeah.
He might not want to tell us, Randy, but
Well,
I'm
still, I'd like to know. I think since we're working with him, I think we should be privy to this info.
Privy to the stupidity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
Well, we because we were in College Dale, Tennessee, and
College
not-
Dale. Are you
not-
taking
not-
notes, Jeffco?
not a whole
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
Not
Yeah,
a whole
taking
lot
notes.
goes on there.
Mm-hmm.
We played car tag one day, and I am shocked that I'm alive.
Excuse me.
What's car tag?
What is that?
It's exactly what it sounds like. Tag.
When you spray paint cars, you put slang
No.
sayings on cars, you tag them.
When you play tag, the game that you play when you're a kid, but with your car,
Uh-huh.
and another person is in
You run
their
your car into somebody else.
Well, you don't run it into them. It was an eyesight thing. Once you make eye contact, you're it. Now I gotta go, and you're chasing me all over the place trying to catch me. Not my proudest moment. Because wow, we did a lot of we caused a lot of traffic violations.
That was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't and you know what? If I had gotten in trouble, if I had gotten, taken in by the police, I would have been old enough to know that was dumb.
Let me
You
just
think
tell
that-
you
that was dumb.
At the time. Yeah. Just real stupid.
I'd say car tag is pretty dumb.
Yeah.
See, I play car tag differently. If I'm running people over with my car.
No.
Yeah.
See, can't do that.
So Joey Chestnut, can I just say right there, Joey Chestnut, he went Han Solo is what he did. Because remember when they're in the Cloud City there, right? And they're like, hey, let's go get some dinner. All right. So they go in and the door opens and there's Darth Vader standing there at the head of the dinner table. Han Solo didn't think twice, pulled out his blaster. He's like, oh, Darth Vader, start shooting. He didn't. You don't hesitate when you see. Of course, now this guy is wearing a Darth Vader mask. So Joey Chestnut, he did what you're supposed to do. You know, you see Darth Vader, you start shooting, or you start you start fighting. You do what you got to do. It's friggin' Darth Vader, man. And if you grew up like we Randy and I did when we saw that on the screen, we're just like, oh god, Darth Vader's a bad guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then even in the year 2000s when they had the other movies, Darth Vader killed them kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying. Hefty Lefty says Joey Chestnut, finely tuned athlete, top of his craft, a legend, fully locked into what he's doing. They will dispense anything standing over. Yeah, that kid's lucky he didn't get eaten.
Yeah.
That's the more of a danger. You go stand in front of Joey Chestnut, all of a sudden you're getting soaked in water and shoved into his gullet.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
a pelican ate a pigeon.
Look, anytime you get in that forward area there, you're fair game. I'm surprised you didn't see the guy disappear, just like a tennis shoe hanging out of Joey Chestnut's mouth as he tries to finish it down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, sucks down a shoelace like a noodle.
And then afterwards, continue with another hot dog.
They'll find him upside down in one of those vomitarium trash cans.
Just
They're
a pair of
backstage.
legs and the tennis shoes hanging out of the vomitarium.
Just groaning. Oh God, what happened? I should have never. I don't even care about chickens. Actually, it turned out we were wondering where these protesters were. Now at the NBA playoffs, it was about chickens. This one is actually about pigs. Smithfield Foods Circle 4 Farms, actually the largest factory pig farm in the country, and they're saying, Nathan's, I guess, get some of them meats from there. That compromises worker safety, public health, and animal welfare. Well, anytime you eat an animal, you have compromised its welfare, and that's just a fact. And God bless the ones who do, because I couldn't do it. I'll be honest. I don't have. I don't know. I want to eat that food once you take care of it. But if it was up to me, I'd be like, let's have salad, because I guess I'm gonna look that animal in the eye. You know what I'm saying? Fish, fish are stupid. I don't care. I'll catch a fish, gut it, cut it, boom. Let's eat that thing. But I've been dove hunting and felt bad about it. And then I think about other hunting, and I'm like, well, that's just me, But other people, great. I'll come by and eat some of your deer. I'll eat burgers and steaks from something that you dealt with where I didn't have to see it all day long. But if I make friends with this animal, we're having salad. That's
that's you don't want to form any attachments, any bonds, but You make the mistake of naming the thing.
Yep. God
What are you
bless
supposed
the
to do?
ones who do, though. That's all I'm saying. I might be all right chopping up a chicken. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of dumb. I guess for me, it's like if they're dumb and or cute. You know, chickens are dumb and they're not cute. Fish, well, they're pretty dumb. Sometimes you're like, well, that's a good looking fish, but you're still like, because I'm gonna eat the hell out of it. But you know, a cow can look like a giant fat dog, and you're like, oh, such a sweetie. You know,
and pigs are smart, so you feel really. I feel really bad about pigs.
Yeah, baby pigs. Yeah, grown-up pigs. I'm like, oh, I couldn't kill that thing quick enough. Yeah, you know, I look like my history teacher from school. No, I'm killing that son of a bitch. You know, I'm just saying, I'm like a sandwich out of it. You know, I sent my daughter today, coincidentally, a text. It was a card. You know how they would illustrate Winnie the Pooh, and here I'll bring it up on the screen. And it said on there, you see Winnie the Pooh just sitting there, pantsless. You know, sexual predator. Anyways, Winnie the Pooh was just sitting there pantsless saying, as much as Pooh missed Piglet, he really did enjoy that bacon sandwich.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's a free game. You can do whatever you want with Winnie the Pooh now, you know. Anyway,
that's true.
Good Cat says, hello. Hello, Good Cat.
Hello, Good Cat.
Yeah, and Bala 51 and Hamilton Porter said, NFL, huh? Yeah, well, maybe tomorrow. Hamilton Porter says, you want to talk NFL? Ask Keon about the list they talked about on the main event of best rosters and how the Cardinals are 19th. Oh, you didn't say any of that to us, did you there? Where did you put the Colts there, Keon?
Well, I didn't know. This is not my list.
19.
Oh, whose list is it?
This is Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports. This is not my list.
We're going to secede from CBS Sports.
And I saw the ranking, and I saw the Cardinals at 19, and I was stunned
that they were so high.
You're
going to take that, Randy, from Keon?
They weren't a top 15 team. The Jets were ranked 20th.
Which team do you have higher, Colts or Cardinals?
Like, well, me personally, I've got Colts higher.
Thank you very much.
Just Jonathan Taylor does.
I have the Colts higher. I have the Commandos higher.
What?
Yeah.
No, come on,
no.
After the are you kidding me? After the meltdown from last season, are you kidding me? After all the off-season drama and the scrubbing my social media and all the Kyler Murray BS that's going on. Are you kidding me?
Even this list didn't have that. So
they still haven't addressed their defensive coordinator. He's still here. I don't even want to say his damn name. He's still here.
There's so much disgust there. I cannot believe it.
Hefty Lefty says, come on, Derry. You got to name your animals. Kevin Bacon, Piggy Pop, Notorious P.I.G., Pig Lebowski. Once you've named them, I can't do that. King Kitten says, Dave's not here, man. Okay, this show is starting to get weird, isn't it? And it's only Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Because I know I said Thursday on Twitter, but it's only Wednesday.
It's a short week, so we've only managed to go 2 days into our work week, and
this is a Tuesday/Wednesday.
Yeah, we can all not wait to get to the weekend. I'm with you on that. Shall we do it? Is this the moment? Is this the moment we've all been waiting for?
Football?
Why did my voice go up high like that?
The NFL?
Yes. We're going to start with sort of the NFL, Washington Commandos.
Come on.
Your old stadium caught fire, man. I'm pretty sure that. Well, let me ask you a question before I go on. Who owns RFK Stadium? Do the Washington football team still own that too?
No.
They get, okay, I was going to say
if
somebody
I'm not
better
mistaken,
check Dan
Washington,
Snyder
DC
for matches.
Owns RFK. Well,
Okay.
Dan doesn't want to do that to RFK because it's a possibility. If the thing in Virginia doesn't work out, and Maryland doesn't want them, they might be able to go back to RFK. Now, DC doesn't want them either, so I don't know how that would work, but it's on the table. So Dan would never do anything to RFK.
Okay, so they'll demolish it and build them a new stadium there.
Maybe. I doubt it, just because the mayor hates Dan. So if they demolished it, it would be to put literally anything else there.
So the list is shorter of people who don't hate Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder is just the most hated owner in sports, at least at the moment.
He is, but the Virginia governor doesn't hate him. He just doesn't care. And the Maryland governor is like, look, here's the amount of money we're willing to give you for a new stadium. You figured out. So that's where he is on that. Like they probably don't like him either. But with the mayor of DC, Muriel Bowser, that's personal. She does not like him at all and cannot stand him and would love for just the worst things to happen to him.
So this fire had nothing to do with Dan Snyder then?
No, because he'd be hurting a potential landing site for himself.
Well, the landing site. Okay, you burn down the stadium. Now you save money on demolition.
I mean, maybe, but you'd still have to demolish it. You're not going to completely burn down a stadium.
It's easier to shovel ashes than it is to move debris. I'm just saying.
I mean, that stadium is old and made out of steel and
FedEx
like
Field
or RFK.
Oh, sorry.
FedEx Field is not made out of anything as high quality as that. The point is that RFK is it's going to take some demolition to get RFK to go down. A fire by itself is not going to do it.
A-Wings 22 says, how about Talon go all proceeds from that event and donating it to local food bank? What the hell is he talking about? No, I don't know what you're talking about, A-Wings 22. So maybe check your typing and fix that text. Hefty Lefty says another stadium caught fire. Good Lord, it's the start of another epidemic. An epidemic of taxpayer-funded stadiums catching fire. Hooray.
At least RFK is owned by, the public.
Hey, Randy, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You've seen some stuff.
I have.
How come they can't build stadiums that last 100 years anymore? They used to build stadiums that last 100 years. I think Wrigley Fields lasts 100 years and more. And I know that it's the exception to the rule. But why is it we can't build stadiums that last more than 20 years anymore?
Well, I think we can. I just think it's this society that we live in. Got to have the newest, latest, greatest.
Well, you just fix up what you have. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, look at
called a
every
resto
year.
mod.
Every year, a new cellular phone comes out. We don't need a new cellular phone, but what do? We go out and get the latest, greatest.
Hold on.
So,
I don't want to get a new phone, but what they do is they do updates on my old phone that slow it down and make it horrible. So I have to get the new phone. If I had kept my old LG phone, I'd have kept that until the thing wore out or I threw it in the pool again accidentally.
Yeah, well.
So don't blame me for phone things, but that's.
No, I'm saying there are people that literally every time a new iteration of something comes out, they have to go get the newest, the greatest, latest. And that's the way this society is now. Hey, one baseball team gets a new stadium. Well, by golly, now everybody else has got to have a brand new stadium. Nobody can stay. I mean, look at the Athletics. A lot of people are criticizing the fact that they're in the Oakland Coliseum. Now, yeah, it's a rat-infested garbage hole. But listen.
That's just Oakland.
What are you going to do? And listen, the Washington Redskins, they have not one, but two stadiums there in the DC that they could play in, and they don't like either one. They want a new one. And the damn Chicago Bears, they're talking about moving to Arlington Heights. They've had that stadium, that Soldier Field. I think of the tradition there of how many decades have they been at Soldier Field?
Long as I can remember,
a new stadium. Well, it's just the latest.
I agree with Randy.
I understand them wanting one
because the stadiums still work. They still stand. They still function for it. Like God's sakes, RFK. They've been using it for every sporting event that's not football. Essentially, they play a lot of soccer in there. DC United plays there. The women's team, the Washington Spirit, play there. So it's not like the stadium is not useful. It's that the owners are looking around and. One owner looks at Jerry World and goes, well, I want a better version of that. So then they build a massive stadium in Atlanta and everybody looks at the stadium in Atlanta with the retractable roof that looks like a camera lens that opens up. And then they build one in SoFi, the SoFi Stadium in LA. And so now everybody wants a version of that. They don't want their stadium, which is perfectly functional and fine.
I think we need to stop funding these stadiums and we'll say, no, you don't hold us hostage by saying you're going to take the team out of town if we don't build you another stadium. How about we just all agree to keep fixing up the ones we have until they're no longer fixable? Let's get some more mileage out of our taxpayer dollar, rather than, having to feel like every time we turn around, now we have to raise taxes again. I just think it's horrible way of doing stuff. Build them better is what I'm saying. All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, okay, no more talking about buildings. No more talking about Joey Chestnut. We're talking NFL players, stuff, actual NFL stuff, by God. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Kevin Durant wants out of Brooklyn, and that has absolutely tanked the Nets championship odds for next season. They are now paying out at plus 3,600 to win it all. Those are the 12th best odds of all NBA teams. They've been pretty consistently a top 6 team in terms of futures odds to win the championship. The Milwaukee Bucks, Boston Celtics, and Phoenix Suns all have plus 600 odds to win it all next year, while the Warriors pay out at plus 650 and the Clippers are paying out at plus 700. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Now, you know, when it came to my KFC meal, I had to put some thought into it.
KFC, man, take your order.
So I started off with a warm and toasted brioche bun. Word of advice, do not sleep on brioche buns. They're French and they're fire. Now, for the star of the show, have you ever seen such a beautiful chicken sandwich? You gotta make mine spicy. Add a side of mac and cheese, secret recipe fries, ranch, and an ice-cold lemonade. You have it. Check out the new Jack Harlow meal at KFC.
Order ahead or on the KFC app today. Prices and participation may vary.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe. Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl.
Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season,
You'd better think again.
the NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more.
Football is always in season here.
We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Your home for football.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Joe the Show says, Randy, Keon, Jeffrey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, hold on, Randy. We don't know what he's thanking us for. It could be something snarky on the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yesterday he had a filthy text yesterday. I couldn't even read the whole damn thing.
Okay.
Well, no, that was somebody else. No, he's fine. Sorry. He was talking about his thang swang, but the rest of it was pretty okay.
Yeah.
Except for the whole meat thing. Anyway, you're welcome, maybe. Depending on what we're being thanked for. We ain't stupid. Baker's Cocky Hen says insurance is paying to remove all the debris at RFK if the fire is bad enough. Oh, I see. Rough Rob says Keon got scared by Dale. Who's not scared by Dale? Kiss the Cook.
What are you talking about?
Says, yes, EG's is open. Hot Italian grinder and ranch bacon fries for dinner. Where's EG's? What are you talking about, Kiss the Cook? Hefty Lefty says, I blame Hugh Hefner. He traded in for the latest and greatest model every month for decades, and it set the precedent. He says, is that what the Falcons roof is supposed to be, by the way? A camera lens? I thought it was like a robot sphincter.
No, well,
that's what it is now. Every time we see it.
The original joke was that, it was a Transformers
anus.
Yep.
Blue nut. Brown star. What?
All of those things. Yep.
All right. So as advertised, by God, we're talking NFL, and we're starting off with a couple of quarterbacks too. How about that? I guess there is now video that exists of a couple of different things. One, Bigfoot. You remember that video where he's just kind of strolling out in the woods there? Remember that, Randy, back in the 70s?
Yeah.
And now Jameis Winston throwing without a brace on his left knee.
What?
It may not be real because there were no interceptions shown. So, I don't know if it's real, but they're saying there is video out there showing him doing throwing drills and no left brace in his left knee, which means congratulations, Saints. There's your starting quarterback for 2022.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, good for him. I hope he makes it back.
Yeah, enjoy next year's first-round draft pick.
I think Jameis might win you more games than you need to get an actually good quarterback.
That's where he's going to get hit by an old lineman in the
so
knee.
Down on Jameis Winston. Before he went down, he was actually in a winning record. He was doing well.
My problem with Jameis is a two-part problem. One, he cannot stop throwing interceptions, and when he doesn't throw interceptions,
did he have?
Many.
He didn't have that many last year, but
that's what I mean.
His touchdowns were also down with that number. Can Jameis throw touchdowns without throwing interceptions? It seems like you get either
Jameis
or.
Is throwing like spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. Some of it sticks, becomes a touchdown. Some of it sticks in the hands of a defender and goes the other direction. So, if you're throwing like a madman playing from behind all the time, you'll get 5,000 yards and 5,000 interceptions.
Listen, the team's not what it was a few years ago. They've lost their Hall of Fame head coach. They've lost their Hall of Fame quarterback. They don't have the defense that they had years ago. They don't have the offensive weapons except for maybe a couple of guys. But I want to see Jameis go an entire season before I pass judgment. I think you're right.
I'd like to see it.
Your thought, Jeffrey, was he had the eye thing and he got the surgery and he didn't have a full season under his belt after the surgery. So I want to see a full season out.
I'm not as optimistic about him as I was then, but you're right. Let's just see him have a full season, not having to worry about the tight end taking away snaps and the other weirdnesses that were going on there.
Yeah. We'll see. But my thing with Jameis was the 30 interceptions. I never blamed his eyes for that. The guy was making really bad decisions with the football. So does that go away?
I have one question. One question, and because I'm a guy who used to like to draft Alvin Kamara. Does Jameis know that he's there to check down to him? Because if he does, then, maybe I'll have a pretty good season because Jameis Winston isn't going to steal his touchdowns in the red zone. Perhaps he'll actually get it to Alvin Kamara or let him run, So does Jameis Winston know Alvin Kamara exists? Because outside of that, I don't want to draft Alvin Kamara in fantasy football.
Well, I don't blame Jameis for Alvin not getting the touches in the red zone.
That was the other
damn Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Damn Taysom Hill.
And even when Jameis was playing, Sean Payton would just go to his Taysom Hill package that he made up and use that to score. And then, you had Alvin Kamara. Alvin would run the 45 yards that it would take you to get you to the goal line. And then Taysom Hill would score the touchdown.
It's not right to me, and it's not right for Alvin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're both not happy about this. There's no gratitude there. Well, anyway, so there you go. Jameis Winston not wearing a knee brace, not wearing a pair of glasses. Let's just see, I guess, what happens this season. But I got to be honest, I'm less optimistic. Joe the Show texts in and says, no, thank you guys for being awesome and being able to share it with us. Also, EG's is a restaurant from Tucson. Tucson sucks, but I gotta be honest. That hot Italian grinder is the bleep.
The bee's knees? What's
Is
the
it
bleep?
in a
bee's
good
knees?
way or a bad way, Joe? Because coming from Tucson, being the bleep could go either way.
I'm taking
Bee's
it
literal.
as a good way because
The man?
he's contrasting it with two.
I
Is
hope
it the man?
No, it's the bleep.
The bee's knees.
He's
What's the
saying,
bleep? Is
you
it
know, the EGs?
It's the man. It's the
the-
dog.
No, they
Huh?
you can't. A sandwich isn't the man. A guy, you don't call it. Ooh, that sandwich is the man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Why
that-
not?
That sandwich is awesome. That sandwich is the bleep, or that sandwich is bleep. Coming from
I see
Tucson, we need
I see what you're
clarification.
saying there. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Jameson is not that bad. His receivers sucked last year. He cut down the picks. He ran the ball very well to help the team extend downs and help them win with just him and Kamara. Well, not as much as you'd hope. Not as many wins as you'd like.
Didn't he have 5 wins before he went out?
Evidently, he will not wear a knee brace, according to Baker's Cocky Hens, but he will wear a crab leg shell around it.
See, I think that was his eye problem, though. He thought he was getting T-bones, and he actually picked up crab legs. See, that's where I think that, the eye surgery is going to help him out.
Right. It was about the eyes in college. Sure.
And yeah, he was 5-2, Randy, before he got injured.
See, 5-2. There you go.
Well, no, Kyler Murray is 5'2". I don't know.
No. 5 wins,
Jameis
2
Winston
losses.
is at least 6 feet, right?
5 wins, 2 losses.
Oh,
yeah.
Joe the Show says the sandwich is comparable to Randy, Keon, and Jeffrey, aka Awesome. Thanks, Joe the Show. Appreciate that. Hefty Lefty says watch Winston go for 5 touchdowns on the goal line this year because nobody expects it. Doesn't everybody expect that a little
from Jameis? Jameis is in baby giraffe learning to walk territory when he runs. Jameis is not fast.
He needs to hand it off to Alvin Kamara and just let him rack up the touchdowns. Jameis doesn't need to do that.
Oh, no. Sam Darnold did something wrong. A new report has come out saying that the Panthers have no intention to trade Sam Darnold, which means he's now a backup quarterback to Baker Mayfield.
I still say, I submit to you guys.
Who did he piss off?
I submit to you guys that Baker Mayfield, coming from a better team, having similar stats to Sam Darnold, who was on a horrible team with the Jets and on a basically a bad team on the Panthers. I submit to you, they are a carbon copy of each other. Baker Mayfield had a damn good running team. He had quality targets. Yeah, okay. He played with 4 broken ribs, a bad shoulder, looked like he was on roller skates most of the time last season. But still, I still submit to you, they are carbon copies.
I don't think so. I know that Baker was on a better team. So I'll grant you the Jets will make anybody look worse than what they actually are. But Sam Darnold has only ever passed for over 60% once in his entire career. He's not good. I gave him the benefit of the doubt a year ago. I think Baker's a better quarterback. Baker's thrown for over 20 touchdowns more. Baker throws and completes 60% of his passes. And the Panthers don't have a ton going on, but they do have a running game and they do have wide receivers.
Here's where Randy is right. Nobody is excited about either. You know what I'm saying? You go say, hey, Sam Darnold's our starting quarterback. Why are you going? Hey, Baker Mayfield's our starting quarterback. Where are you going?
Baker is not the quarterback that you get excited about. Baker is the quarterback that you make the trade for, so that if you can upgrade that quarterback position at all, you do it so that everybody doesn't get fired next year. That is why you bring in Baker. Not to get excited.
Listen, I would love for Christian McCaffrey to do a great. Personally, I think he needs to be moved out of the running back position because he's already had his brains beat in over the first several seasons in the NFL. And he's no longer a resource. He is now a what am I trying to say? He's a problem because he gets injured. The last 2 seasons had major injuries.
I hear you.
They don't have a running game. They don't really have. I mean, they've got a couple of weapons outside.
There is one thing that is coming out of this good. I no longer have to care about either. I don't have to care about the Browns. I don't have to care about the Panthers. It is a foregone conclusion that both team will suck mightily. Yea, unto thee, saith the Lord.
Yeah, they're going to be bad. Like just the plain fact that the Panthers offensive line ain't great. That you play in the NFC South, you're going to get some wins down there, but you're not going to win enough games to do anything. The question is, do you win enough games to make the owner, David Tepper, happy enough that he doesn't clean house at the end of the year?
I am pretty sure that Mike Evans listens to this show because he is repeating what I have said in the past, almost verbatim. Yeah, the quote is, I hope Rob Gronkowski returns, but I feel like he's done. I said those exact words. Well, he's a lot of fun to watch. He's a Hall of Fame tight end, but I feel like he's done. Those exact words, but I feel like he's done. So Mike Evans, I don't mind if you're going to listen to this show and then just copy me, but maybe a little credit, just say, hey, this guy I listen to is amazing. Is Jeffrey O'Brien and Randy White and Keon Rose guy there. Feel like he's done. Credit is due.
You ever heard of plagiarism, Mike Evans?
Just a little bit disheartening there, Mike Evans. Appreciate it, but still, again, yes, that's exactly what I have said. But yeah, I don't think Rob Gronkowski is coming back. What I'm praying, I was so glad to see him come back as a tight end, not because I give a damn and a half about the Buccaneers. I just wanted him off the broadcast. He was so bad on the Fox morning broadcast. And that's what I like to listen to. Bald Terry and Crew Cut Howie and those other guys. Well, then every time Rob Gronkowski would show up, I'd be like, oh, God. So hopefully he's going someplace else or just sitting on the couch drinking some Kool-Aid. I don't care what he does. I just don't need him on my TV talking to me because feel my IQ starting to drift anytime he's on TV. So I don't think he's coming back. I think he's finally just had enough. And like I said, the time for him to come back is the playoffs. There's nothing wrong with bringing him. You can do that. Just bring him back for the playoffs, if you need him. Maybe even if you don't, it's a nice story.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially since, they got Cameron Brate coming back. Brate's pretty solid. Obviously he's not Gronk, but he's a good tight end.
Right. If Brate gets hurt, make a call.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And outside of that, in the meantime, if Rob Gronkowski is really done, and I feel like he is, well, then he's going to probably have a nice little beer tire going on by the time they do call.
Oh, I don't think you'll ever have a beer belly. Gronkowski?
Yes, he will.
Nah.
Oh, he is gonna be 90% beer by the time they call him.
Oh, I don't. Nah.
Yeah.
He strikes me as just I got to work out because I just don't know what else to do with myself, guy.
No, like he's a dude, bro.
Yeah.
One of those things. Got to get to the gym.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is he not that already?
Because he has to be. I think. I think he's willing to go soft. I don't know. I guess we'll find out here in about 10 months. Joe, the show says Panther fans got to be sick about this. Imagine waking up with Darnold as your quarterback and then going to sleep with Baker Mayfield as the new starting quarterback. And then he says, ha, 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 ha.
Maybe.
Ha, 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 ha.
Maybe Baker goes into Carolina. And he's one of those players that's motivated by that, that chip on his shoulder, what everybody else says about him, that motivates him. Maybe he goes into Carolina, has a huge season because of what the Browns did. Listen, the Browns totally disrespected it.
Maybe monkeys will fly out of our butts. That's more likely.
I was hoping more for pigs, but hey.
Screaming Eagle says, hey, everybody. Sorry, I've been super busy with work. I really miss hearing you every afternoon. Today, what I heard was enlightening as well as funny. I will never listen to any other sports station but you guys.
Wow.
Surprisingly, I caught a few minutes this afternoon with Keon and Izzy, and they were very good.
How about that?
I appreciate now
that.
Keon's like, what do you mean surprisingly?
Surprisingly.
What the hell's that all about?
I work hard too.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll finish up the texts that are on the text line about the Baker Mayfield and stuff. And then we've got the on this date in Big Georgia sports history. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Blue Star Medicated Ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff.
Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the blue star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast or your money back.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Now, you know, when it came to my KFC meal, I had to put some thought into it.
KFC, may I take your order?
So I started off with a warm and toasted brioche bun. Word of advice, do not sleep on brioche buns. They're French and they're fire. Now, for the star of the show, have you ever seen such a beautiful chicken sandwich? You gotta make mine spicy. Add a side of mac and cheese, secret recipe fries, ranch, and an ice-cold lemonade. There you have it. Check out the new Jack Harlow meal at KFC.
Order ahead or on the KFC app today. Prices and participation may vary.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
Asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatics.
David Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Baker's Cocky Hen says 32 carries, 166 yards. 17 of those runs were for first downs last season for Jameis Winston. He's a little bit smaller. Brandon Leftwich is what he is. Pierre's slow, but long legs can take hits other than to his knees, apparently, I guess.
Yeah, and also Jameis has just got this. He's got this awkward way that he runs. Baker looks awkward doing everything but throwing the football. That's the only time he looks normal. So sometimes you watch him run and you're like, is he actually going somewhere? Arms are pumping and then he's gone. It's 3 yards.
I have a question. Why is Baker's Cocky Hens Baker's Cocky Hens? We should probably let him change his name now. I feel like that's an unfortunate name to be saddled with.
But he chose that name.
I know, but it's kind of got an expiration date on it, doesn't it?
Now, I'm just going to tell you, you've opened up Pandora's box if you do this. Well, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get flooded with texts from the fourth dimension. I want to change my name. I want to change my name.
No, I'm good at saying no. But when I see Baker's Cocky Hens, I think
maybe Baker's Cocky Hens wants to be Baker's Cocky Hens.
Or he's a baker. I don't know.
Also a fact, but Baker was a great college quarterback. Like, I don't understand why, just because he's not, lived up to the promise of the number one overall pick doesn't mean that it's useless to be a fan of Baker.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, I'm a sad Browns fan who always gets fooled into the next savior for quarterback. So yeah, he was excited about Baker. And now I feel bad for him. Yeah. I don't let pretty much hardly anybody ever changed their text or nickname. But if anybody, probably should get a pass, as long as you don't do another dumb like Deshaun's cocky hens.
Yeah,
Please
well,
don't
I
do
was just
that.
going to say, is he going to do something with Deshaun now?
I think maybe we just got to give him a break on this. Maybe, I don't know. So Fish Tank says, remember, Randy, Baker Mayfield does not see dead people. Joe Darnold sees ghosts.
Was that Darnold or was that the Hall of Famer Mitchell Trubisky?
No, that was Sam Darnold. It's like,
I'm seeing ghosts. Yeah. No. Live on Monday Night Football.
That's right. That's right. Good one.
Fish Tank also says, I really don't understand all the hate on Baker. At the very worst, he's average. I'd take him over Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz. I think he could be equal to Ryan Tannehill or Jimmy G. I'm not saying he's amazing, but he's a serviceable quarterback. If I was a Panthers fan, I'd be stoked. He's a giant upgrade from old bobblehead Sam Darnold.
I guess we'll see.
His
I guess
completion
we'll see.
percentage was higher last year than Sam Darnold's, and his arm was falling off of his body. He is an upgrade. No one's saying that he's suddenly like a top 5 quarterback.
I don't think you take him over Carson Wentz, though.
I don't know about upgrade, but I will say this. Okay. I will. The guy has persevered under what is it? 3 head coaches, 3 different offensive coordinators, 3 different offenses, and now he's going into his 4th.
He's the reason mommy drinks.
That's true. He hasn't had a chance at consistency, at continuity. So maybe this will be, it's like, change of scenery. Maybe this is the thing for him. Maybe he lands a spot here in Carolina and he does well.
Here's what Baker is never going to be. Baker is never going to be the quarterback where if you have a team that's not great, he's going to elevate them. But if your team is already solid, you add Baker, you can go to the playoffs.
Listen, he did lead the Browns to the first playoff game in how many years? 9?
And they won it, and the coach had COVID.
Playoff game. Yeah.
Can I tell you something though? My problem with horse racing is it's not the jockey who wins the race, it's the horse. And Baker is the jockey on a horse when the Browns go to the playoffs. It wasn't because of Baker. He just happened to be there.
No, he's the quarterback, and he threw, what was it that season? Was it 26 touchdowns? Yeah, no, he's part of the horse. He's not just the jockey.
You get the jockey out of that stupid progressive ad and we'll talk.
All right, I'm just saying that year he throws 26 touchdowns. You don't get to say he's just riding the coattails.
He's riding coattails. I say what I want.
You can. You just wouldn't be correct
with my mouth.
And you would be wrong with your mouth.
Oh, how dare you, sir? It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1887, Charlotte Lottie Dodd became the youngest ever winner of the Wimbledon Ladies Singles Championship, achieving her triumph in 1887 at the tender age of 15 years old and 285 days. Lottie defeated opponent Blanche Bingley Hilliard in the finals 6-2, 6-0. 6 years later, she got her 5th and final Wimbledon victory. It's very impressive, and also I'm pretty sure she's the one that they came up with Lottie Da over. Lottie Da.
I was thinking that
because she was the Michael Jordan of her time. Okay, she pulled a Michael Jordan. She retired after her 1888 Wimbledon victory, and then later she came back in 1891 and won it 3 more times. Very Michael Jordan-esque. Her talents weren't even limited to tennis. She also played golf, hockey, the non-sport of curling. She ice skated. She tobogganed the famous Cresta Run. She went mountaineering, and she was pretty good as an archer too. By the late 19th century, she settled down on golf. And in 1904, she won the Ladies Open Championship at Troon and the Open meeting at Formby. So she was Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
La-dee-da.
La-dee-da. Like, so that's why somebody says, well, aren't you something? Aren't you impressive? La-dee-da. And then it turned into la-dee-da. So that's to have a saying transcend anyone even remembering you. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Well, la-dee-da. So there you go. On this day in Big Georgia sports history.
Another good one, Big George. Another good one.
So all right, we've got some time. Should we do the Wheel of Sports?
Yes, please.
All right, let's find out what we talk about next randomly. Randy, spin that wheel of sports. Did we mention this earlier? I don't know if it was on air or not, but I guess Derek Jeter's got a new documentary coming out, and it's called The Captain.
Yeah,
I could give a crap because he's Yankee. So, well, of course, when you have a documentary, you see ads on the internet. You see ads on the TV, and occasionally you'll see billboards. You'll see they'll put up signs and stuff. You're driving along. Oh yeah. I guess they put up a Derek Jeter billboard promoting this thing, but they did it right across the street from Fenway Park.
Oh, no kidding.
This will make it the most flipped off billboard probably in the history of Boston, maybe
right.
say the world.
Yeah, possibly.
What a flex.
Do you guys remember the Captain? Kidding. You remember?
Ouch.
Oh, boy.
Ouch. Red Sox fans, I would imagine vandalism is coming soon. Possibly a fire. The Red Sox fans aren't messing around. They hate the Yankees as much as I do, and I know they hate them some Derek Jeter. So it's going to be ugly. Fish Tank says Jeter's doc should be called One Night and a Free Ride Home. This is a true thing. He used to give them gift bags.
Oh yeah, gift baskets.
A lady spends the night. She gets a Ladmo bag. You know what I'm saying? She gets
basket.
Gets a little something there. Here you go, honey. Go.
Derek Jeter, very strict with the phone rules. You show up in his house, he's taking your phone. Yep. And you get it back when you leave.
No photos, no phone calls.
You've been to Derek Jeter's house?
If anybody knows, it's Keon.
This is what I've read about going to Derek Jeter's
house.
Did
you know that
read about?
I wish I could.
Derek Jeter's house.
Derek Jeter's awesome. I wish I could have gone to Derek.
He was a two-way hitter.
Hey-o.
But no, he does. It's not just with the ladies. Derek Jeter does this for every person that visits his house, friend or not.
Gift basket there, actually.
Yeah, what's in the gift basket?
I don't know, you guys. I've never been to Derek Jeter's house.
Yeah, you said you were at his house.
I never said I was at his house. I said I wish I was at his house. Never been to Derek Jeter's house.
But thought he would have known what's in the gift bag.
I don't know what's in the gift bag.
Someday he'll tell us what's in the gift bag.
I
think we got to get him a little bit lathered up with some booze. Get him a little boozy.
Yeah. I too am suddenly annoyed with this song.
We'll take him out for drinks one night.
Well, yeah, we'll get his stories. We'll get him out of him someday. All right, Randy, spin the wheel. Let's see what we talk about next. I know this happened the other day, but it still bears mentioning the sad passing of ESPN NFL reporter and handicapping expert Hank Goldberg died at 82. I do got to say this. I'm pretty sure all the people he handicapped probably aren't going to miss him. It's a horrible thing to do to people, Hank Goldberg.
Jeffrey.
And all these people on crutches and wheelchairs because of you, Hank Goldberg. At 82, that's a lot of years to handicap people. You sick son of a bitch.
No, Jeffrey. No, you've got this all wrong. Betting.
Oh. Boy, I shouldn't have sent that to the memorial service then.
Probably not.
Yeah, he had chronic kidney disease in recent years, and then he passed away.
Did you put your name on the when you sent that to the service?
I'm not stupid. I signed it. Loving kisses, Bruce Jacobs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to appreciate that.
Spin the wheel, Randy. I don't get this. I really don't get this. Now, I there's some memorabilia. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Some memorabilia makes sense that you go out of your way and you pay a shitload of money, right? Mm-hmm. Some does not. I like Steph Curry. Don't get me wrong. But would you pay $203,000 for his NBA Finals Game 1 jersey? That seems like a lot for the Game 1 jersey. You know what I'm saying? It's not the one he won it in. It was one of the games.
I believe he also made the most threes in a quarter in a finals game.
But not that one.
Yeah, it was game 1.
Was it game 1 he made those? Yeah, you're right. 6 3-pointers in the first quarter, breaking a record for most 3-pointers made during one quarter of an NBA Finals.
Now, would you pay $203,000?
Nope. No, would you? Do you think this is it was a 101 bid war? So maybe the people got nuts. But I just don't feel
Where
like
did the bidding start? That's what I'd have to ask.
$1. I don't know.
$1.
I'll bet $1.
I mean, once you're buying game worn jerseys from the finals, the gap between game 1 and game 6, I got a finals jersey from Steph Curry. If I'm gonna pay for any of them, I'll pay for any version of that.
Well, $3.69 million went to a Kobe Bryant game worn jersey from his rookie season. So,
well, yeah,
I don't know. I feel like as much as I like you, Steph Curry, too much. Too much money.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument, but once you clear several thousand,
if you have the money, if you have the money, go for it, right?
Okay, so let's see. $200,000. I buy another supercar for the garage or a jersey.
Well, it depends. If you're several supercars deep, yeah, the jersey might be more appealing if you're a Steph fan.
You can't. If those electric supercars, they're way more than $200,000.
I win the lottery, I'm going to have a airplane hangar of a garage. I'm going to make Jay Leno cry. Okay.
The people that are bidding on this can get any car they want, whenever they want. The jersey's not stopping.
Fine. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Blue Star medicated ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users.